Franklin. The 2003 college football season will kick off in, of all places, an NFL stadium. Here in Kansas City, purple-clad fans have flocked in mass to cheer on their Kansas State Wildcats against the Golden Bears from Berkeley. It may be the dog days of August, but tedious two-a-days are tempered by the hope of a new campaign. As Warriors say, no sweat to the late summer heat. Soon the calendar will turn to September, where intersectional battles whet our appetite for the conference clashes of October and November. Before you know it, we'll be knocking on winter's door. Heroes will rise, hardware will be handed out, and lasting images will flood our memory banks. But the hardest goal is to get to the Big Easy, where the champions will be crowned. The road to New Orleans begins tonight. Kickoff is moments away. Welcome to ESPN's College Football Saturday, celebrating 20 years of college football on ESPN. Tonight, it's the BCA Classic as the California Golden Bears take on the 5th-ranked Kansas State Wildcats. And for the first time, ESPN College Football will be broadcast in high definition, presented tonight by Phillips and Best Buy. Hello, everybody. Ron Franklin along with Mike Gottfried. Hard to believe, but in our 13th season together, this is going to be a lucky 13 because it is a great season that we have coming up ahead. First of all, let's talk about K-State tonight. They averaged 45 points a game last year, and the man who leads them is not as big as most student managers. His name is Darren Sproles. You think he's as good as anybody around?
Ron, I think he's the best back in the country, and everybody's going to get a chance to watch him tonight. He reminds me a lot of Archie Griffin, the two-time Heisman Trophy winner at Ohio State. Great speed, has great strength in his lower body, breaks tackles. I'm excited about watching him play.
For the Cal Bears, they really had a contest at quarterback. It actually came down to 3 young men. Tonight, Mike, you think we're going to see 2 of them?
I think we're going to see 2 for sure. I talked to Jeff Tedford, the head coach, before the ball game. Watching Reggie Roberson, first of all, I think he's more of an athlete, so I would expect him to run some quarterback draws, run the football. And then the second-team quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, junior college transfer. I think he's the better passer, so I think he's going to see some action early in this ball game.
Cal has won the toss. They're going to go on offense first. Can they run on this K-State defense?
Big question mark. K-State lost a lot of playmakers on defense last year, so it remains to be seen.
Well, the weather is definitely going to be a factor. Now, it is not quite as warm on the heat index as we had anticipated. We thought it would be well over 100. But the Weather Bureau is saying 95 degrees, and it feels like 95. Quite frankly, it feels warmer than that because there's not much of a breeze down on the field. Cal has won the toss. They will receive, and K-State will kick it off. And lining up is Joe Ream, youngster out of Wichita, Kansas, a junior, 6'2", 220. Bethia, one of the deep backs for California. In fact, he is the deepest of the back along at the goal line. Here comes Ream, and this one is underway. And Bethia backtracks at the 1-yard line. He's got return space. 10 to the 15, and wow, what an open field tackle at the 19-yard line as he is belted down hard by Rashad Washington, who is the starter at strong safety. The starting quarterback for the Cal Bears. And Mike, let's talk a little bit more about Reggie Roberson. He broke a finger in spring training last year, did not get to work the entire spring, but yet he knows the offense best, working behind Kyle Bowler. And Cal's going to come out, no huddle. They did it at the sideline, and they'll get this one going immediately as Robertson goes under center at the 19.
Going to get a movement penalty on Cal right off the bat.
Jonathan Teasel, the left guard, moved.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Ron, we talked about Reggie Roberson, and when Jeff Tedford talked to us the other day on the phone conversation, he said he won the job because he has a better understanding of the offense. That's because he's been a backup for the last 2 seasons.
Youngster, 6'2", 190, a junior, 2-year letterman out of Tucson. Going to throw, far sideline. Got man coverage, and the ball is overthrown. And it gives us an opportunity to look at the starters on offense. Roberson at quarterback. Adem Chinobi Echimandu is the tailback. Mandarino the fullback. And the wide receivers, McConan and Jeff MacArthur. The tight end is Brandon Hall. Very big guy, 6'4", 245. Up front with the offensive line, the veteran senior out of MacArthur is Mark Wilson at left tackle. He is a very, very good one. Blunser in the middle, 2-year starter, moved over from guard. He's experienced out of New Braunfels, Texas. Good look at Mark Wilson and his stance as we go with the 2nd down and 10. And it's going to be Echimandu, and he'll go straight up the middle, and not much doing as Josh Buell, the linebacker on the strong side, comes over to make the tackle. And the starters on defense, Andrew Schull on the left side, he is far and away their best. Montgomery, Berry, and Clary. And the linebackers, Butler, Hickman, and Buell, who just made the stop. In the secondary, it is going to be Lavender and Randy Jordan, along with Rashad Washington, who had that huge stick on the opening kickoff, and Jesse Tetuan. Third down, Cal, in the situation that they don't want to start the ball game this way, as K-State dictates. They roll the pocket, drills the pass, and there's going to be contact made, but no flag. And it was Jeff MacArthur who possibly got away with a little pass interference. It is going to be kicking time, California.
Cal opened up last season with a halfback pass against Baylor for a 71-yard touchdown. They came out of this opening series and tried a bomb on 1st down, so now they're going to give Kansas State good field position. Well,
the guy that you've been talking about as you look at Lucas Everett, who will punt it away. Sproles is the deep man, number 43. And folks, this guy is tiny. I mean, it is really hard to believe. He's only 5'7", 170 pounds. But you get him in the open field, and he is a very difficult tackle to make. Good high-hanging kick. Sproles, no fair catch. Makes the retreat at the 38. Hit immediately. That's nice coverage by California. Tackling him at the 40-yard line. 40 yards in the kick and 3 on the return. So we now get an opportunity to look at L. Roberson, a senior out of Baytown Lee. Michael, he is like having still a second tailback in the backfield, isn't it?
Single wing offense, Ron. You got a tailback at quarterback, and you got the best tailback in the country in the backfield. So maybe the best running quarterback in the Big 12. So you have double problems if you're on defense.
Let me ask you this, though. Sometimes I think that Roberson is underrated as a passer. He's a little better than what defenses give him credit for.
I think they're going to have the pass tonight.
Polite in motion, straight ahead with a handoff. Has 5, has 10. Get ready to play the school song. 10. Inside the 10, it's 1st and goal, Kansas State. And Donnie McCluskey will knock him out of bounds. That's what Mike Gottfried has been talking about on SportsCenter and then on the opening of our telecast. 53 yards on the opening carry. And I mean the old expression, as quick as a hiccup. Travis Wilson with a fantastic block from the fullback spot.
Travis Wilson's a road grader at fullback. He blocks, but you see Darren Sproles, once he gets in the secondary now with good speed, good angle by the safety to get him out of bounds.
Also Ryan Lilja, number 64, the left guard, pulled and threw a very good block. K-State with a 1st and goal at the 8. Little counterplay straight ahead this time, and a nice job defensively, but he still gets 3 yards as Francis Bainiza is there to make the stop for the Cal Golden Bears. So Sproles, Wilson, Terry, and Polite, the wide receivers, and Casey starts at tight end tonight, a big junior out of Gladstone, Missouri. And up front with the offensive line, Nick Leckie moved over from guard. He is the real anchor in the middle out of Grapevine, Texas. Doty and Clary very good at the tackles. And Lilja, we talked about him. They think he's going to be a really good one. He is at left tackle, or left guard, I should say. 2nd down as they scrimmage from the 5. And L. Roberson with an audible. You could see Travis Wilson get the call and then turns around to Sproles. It's going to be a fade route. Knocked away and incomplete as the defensive play made by Harrison Smith, a sophomore out of Oakland.
didn't put the ball up high enough to James Terry. Harrison Smith 6'2". Now James Terry is 6'5". That's why you like the fade to the big tall receiver. But to Harrison Smith was up for the challenge. Not enough air under the ball by Roberson.
So third down, goal to go. You can see the open side of the field to the left, and that's where Terry is. Cal showing blitz, and they come off the corner. Option play. Sproles, blocker in front, turns it up, and he will score. Travis Wilson with another outstanding block from the fullback position. So, Mike, as they prepare for the extra point, and Joe Ream comes on, Cal's worst nightmare, and they got themselves into the predicament. Third down and long, allowing a really good defense to dictate the situation. 3 and out, they punt, 53-yard run, and all of a sudden they're down by 6, about to be 7. Ream with the extra point, knocks it right down the middle.
Ron, the reason Darren Sproles is so good out in the open field, Brian Tremblay, number 58, has a shot at him here, but he makes him miss right here. Just a little juke. When he jukes, he's working upfield. Touchdown.
So Sproles is a man who leads them, and they're on top, 7-0. We'll be right back. On the drive, 3 carries, 60 yards, and he scores the touchdown. And again, James Bethea will get an opportunity to return the kick as Joe Ream will kick it off. Mike, I think Cal has got to try to establish something with the run to control the clock some, because 3 and outs or 5 and outs, things like that, is not going to get it done against this offense, is it?
This band will be playing a lot here for Kansas State if they don't get something going.
Here's Bethea, breaks it out over the 20, and then is knocked down hard at the 22-yard line. Adrian Karsten down on the sideline. Welcome back, my big friend.
Thank you, Ron. You can take our temperature here on the field anytime you want to tonight. Like you said, no sweat. I think we've already seen Kansas State maybe is better suited to the temperature down here. 2 days ago, back in Manhattan, 117 degrees in the hour-long practice on the surface. So what did Bill Snyder do? He put on a winter parka just to make a point, to say, gentlemen, if a man my age can do this, you can certainly fight through it. Don't forget, 3 years ago against Iowa on this field, 135 degrees. That's why we're playing at night tonight.
Wow. Natural turf makes a difference. This is O'Keefe, Marcus O'Keefe, a redshirt freshman out of Carson, California, who was replacing Echemandu. Tackle made by Butler.
What California did on that play, Ron, they're trying to find a way to run the ball. They came in the end over set to try to catch Kansas State, not moving over a little bit, but Kansas State did a good job defensively stopping the run.
Got to be 2nd down and long. Coach Snyder said he admitted he felt a little dizzy wearing that jacket as long as he did. Pass thrown behind the intended receiver, who was Garrett Cross, the tight end. But I believe Andrew Scholl, the tight end, or the defensive end for K-State, got a hand on that one.
He did, Ron, and if you're in a 2-quarterback situation right now, here's the play. Robertson's going to throw the ball. Scholl gets his right hand on the football. You want Reggie Roberson knows Aaron Rodgers is on the sideline, and he's looking over his shoulder a little bit. He wants to get off to a better start than he's getting off to here.
Well, here we've got 3rd down and long again. They had 3rd down at about 9.5 on the last series. You can see Cal's got them spread all over the field. Plenty of time, steps up, drills the pass. Great catch at the 40-yard line. It is grabbed in by Benson Stang, a senior out of Huntington. It's good for 16 yards. But the most important thing about that play is the fact that the special teams didn't have to come back on and kick it back to K-State.
No, and you keep the football a little bit. You rest your defense. It's a hot night, hot, muggy night. So it's going to take its toll on both these teams.
Aaron Rodgers, the sophomore out of Chico. Excellent arm strength, standing on the sideline. He is the backup, as Mike talked about. By the way, nice job by the offensive line a moment ago of giving protection to Reggie Robertson. From the 41, play action, whips it out on the flat, and that is McConan. And he's going to take it out near midfield. They're going to spot him out short of the 1st down, though it's going to be a gain of 7. And Jesse Tetuan a sophomore out of Topeka, 6 feet 185, was over there to make the tackle.
The first play for McConan, he works out with Jerry Rice in the offseason, so you know this guy's in shape because Jerry Rice is in the greatest shape for the receiver position.
You know, they list him as a possession type receiver, which normally means a guy doesn't have excellent speed, but I was watching him in warmups, and he seems to have far better than average speed.
54 catches last year.
Second down, they need it just across midfield at the K-State 49-yard line. And they hand it off to the motion man. That is Strang, who just caught the pass, turns the corner, and is going to be knocked out of bounds, but he will have the first down at around the 46-yard line.
I can see some of Jeff Tedford's plan here early is to make Kansas State run sideline to sideline and cover the pass and rush the passer to kind of get that defense a little fatigued early. Make them run the football field on you to defend you.
Marcus O'Keefe continues to work at tailback for the Golden Bears rather than at Jamandu. You see the offset with the fullback. They set him to block. And as they roll the pocket, they get it out to the fullback. Mandarino inside the 40, down to the 35, and now the 34. It'll be a first down for the Golden Bears. Play gain of 13 yards, and now just what you were talking about. At an excellent point, Mike. They really are mixing things up, and it's almost like making K-State's defense run side to side a little bit.
Make them work. Play action fake, and they get the ball on the flat. But when you asked me early about Kansas State's defense, last year they were great. This year they got a big question mark on them because they lost all their playmakers. Terrence Newman's gone. The middle linebacker that went to the Broncos last year is gone.
Well, Roberson started the ball game tonight 0 for 2, and he's hit his last 3 for 37 yards since that. And Cal is going to take a timeout, so we'll take it with him. 10:47 remaining, opening quarter. K-State 7-0. Downtown Kansas City. Of course, we are just out off I-70 at Arrowhead Stadium. Well, L. Roberson has got a lot of folks in his corner for the possibility of being one of the front runners for the Heisman. And, of course, so does Sproles, the tailback. Right now, it is a first down situation for Cal. And as they scrimmage from the 34, and again they use play action. Here comes the pressure off the linebacker. Got a man open, caught for the touchdown, and that is Strang. Number 85, the senior out of Huntington, good for 34 yards, and it got him in man coverage.
And beat Tetwan, the safety, number 23. But we talked about Reggie Roberson needing to get off to a good start. Now this drive is going to help his confidence. He holds on extra points and field goals, so you always got to be aware of the fake here.
Tyler Fredrickson to try to tie up this ball game at the 10:39 mark. Good pass, and he knocks it home, and we got a tie ball game with 13:39. So the man that you got to put a star by his name is Vincent Strang, because he's the guy who made the crucial 16-yard catch to keep the drive alive, and then he catches one for a touchdown. Big series for Strang. Mikey had 2 pass receptions for 51 yards.
Yeah, Ron, first of all, when they blitz, the offensive line, the tight end Cross does a good job. Robertson steps up. You see him slide up to make that throw before the middle linebacker Butler can get to him on the blitz. Now all of a sudden Tetwan is sitting back here against Vincent Strang, and he lets him to the inside. Touchdown.
Well, you're right about that. The Cross deserves a lot of credit, because if he doesn't leave the defensive end and come out and pick up that linebacker, they might not have been able to get that pass off.
I like what Jeff Tedford did. He went to 2 tight ends, and he blocked that blitz real well.
Sproles, the deep man. Fredrickson boots this one, and it's returnable. They kick it away from Sproles out to the 20, close to the 25-yard line. On the return is Danny Morris. Well, the ESPN Original Entertainment presents Playmakers, a new dramatic series about the lives of pro football players off the field. Playmakers premieres on Tuesday, 9 Eastern on ESPN. Also available in high definition on ESPN HD. Well, Mike, I watched that opening show at home this past week, and that thing just kind of cuts to the chase. It is it is very interesting, very direct. I think folks will enjoy that. First down, K-State scrimmage from their own 25-yard line, and a little bit stunned on the near sideline as they were up very high after that opening drive and scoring so quickly. And then Cal came back down with some nice offensive adjustments. Sproles hit at the line of scrimmage. He's going to be knocked backwards. Wendell Hunter, one of the linebackers, came over to make the tackles. We did not get a chance to tell you about these guys. Lupoy Alexander is the best of the guys up front. Sverchek at the other tackle, and Parson at right defensive end. The linebackers, Tremblay in the middle, Hunter, who just made the stop, and Blymiza, number 19. And in the secondary, probably their biggest concern is Mixon, and behind him, both of those kids have not played. Redshirt freshman and a true freshman out of high school. So we'll keep an eye on that particular corner. Second down, Roberson back to throw, pumps it once, going to go long, got a man wide open over the middle. James Terry got it, and he fell down. It was a little in front of him, and he falls down inside the 25, and there's a marker just beyond the line of scrimmage at the 35.
This may come back, Ron, formation-wise. James Terry has to have a big year for Kansas State because they're going to be able to run the football. Everybody's going to put 25 guys in that box to stop the run.
On the defense, that penalty is declined. First down.
Dennis Hennigan, the referee tonight, and our crew out of the Big East. And that is a 52-yard completion. As you see Terry break it open, far and away the most experienced of the K-State receivers, a senior out of Homestead, Florida, by way of Butler County Community College.
Was a quarterback in high school, a quarterback the first year at Butler County Junior College. So just learning the receiver position.
But being a former quarterback, obviously got pretty good hands, Mike. Under 10 minutes to play in his opening quarter. We got a good one. A lot more offense here than we really had anticipated. Tied at 7. Sproles, nothing in the middle. Bounces to the outside. And here's where he just frustrates the heck out of you. A play that should have been stopped at the line of scrimmage. And he's going to wind up with a gain of very close to 7 yards as Giordano came over to make the stop. But you can't try to make a kill hit on him. You got to make a sure grab, don't you?
You really do have to make a sure grab. And then you got to hope that you get some help. Donnie McCluskey ends up making the play.
Clary, the right tackle, sophomore out of Mansfield, Texas, 6'7", 290. Made a really nice block over there on the right side. Sproles now 5 carries, 67 yards, and a touchdown. And on a second and short, here comes the option, and Roberson says, I'll keep it at the 10, down to the 5. It'll be first and goal again for the Wildcats. They have had no problems whatsoever on offense.
No, you have to have good receivers in this football team because you got so many running threats. Roberson, Sproles, and you're going to run the football very well. So James Terry, I'd like to be a receiver on this team because you're going to be open.
And Lorenzo Alexander, the best of the defensive linemen for Cal, he just spun him completely around and avoided him and cut it back up for 5 more yards. From the 5, option to that open side of the field, and boy, Roberson gets tagged as he did not pitch. It'll still be a gain of about 1.5 yards.
If he'd have pitched that ball, it may have been a touchdown. And the band director is going to get tired of playing the fight song tonight, but he couldn't get it out. I think he's going to his left side, his left hand. He got caught up by Blymiza.
Francis Blymiza from West Covina. So substitutions are made. It is now a second down, and Kansas State about just over 3 yards outside the goal line. They go 2 tight ends with a power eye to the short side of the field. Saba checks into the lineup, and they take it straight up the middle, and there's just nothing doing as the handoff to Travis Wilson, the fullback.
That play was like in a phone booth. They had everybody inside and brought every defender from Cal inside. Now number 43 comes back on the field. Now if I was a defensive coordinator and he was off the sideline, I'd feel pretty good.
Well, what
happened? A glass of water. 2
wide receivers checked into the ball game along with Darren Sproles.
Now it starts sweating.
And now they spread them out. Even Sproles is going to line up side by side with his quarterback Roberson. And he hands it off to him right in the middle of the line. Nice defense. Blymiza again with the tackle. And Bill Snyder, with his hands on his hips, not really pleased with the way that particular offensive series went after they got in the red zone. Mike?
No, Cal is saying right now to K-State, we're going to stop the run. We're going to put so many guys in that box. We're going to force you to throw the football.
Clock runs. We're now under 7 minutes to play opening quarter. You see the numbers on Ream. Last year, 9 of 12. Got off to a little bit of a slow start last year. This one is going to be from 22 yards away. Good pass right down the middle, and K-State goes back on top. So we'll take a timeout with 6:29 to play in this opening quarter. 10-7 K-State. We'll be right back.
Amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football.
Mike, I remember when it happened, and I couldn't believe it when I saw that it happened.
No.
And I agree with Joe Starkey. What an unbelievable play.
Rod Gilmore, our ESPN announcer, was on the sidelines. He was celebrating. I know Rodney's probably watching this tonight. It brings back bad pains to him.
Now this is his short kick. Retreating and making the catch is Hughes. Out over the 15 down to the 19-yard line. Adrian Karsten, what do you have for us?
Ron, Joe has been the radio voice of the Golden Bears for 28 years now. At the same time, he's been calling the 49ers games for 17. Now, this is only the second time in his career he's missing this game because by contract he has to be in San Francisco tonight. Only other one of 309 Cal games he has called, he missed because of a family wedding.
Okay.
Archie Bernstein has taken his place. Joe has logged over 40,000 miles in a single college football season.
Well, Adrian, guess what? Echimandu checks into the lineup. He was running back and forth on the sideline. I have a feeling he was trying to stretch out cramps or something, but he didn't start in the ball game. Play action to him. Get the pass out here in front of us, MacArthur, and he caught it juggling, and then he had possession when he stepped out at the 30-yard line. Lavender pushed him out for K-State.
And you think of Terrence Newman. Last year, the corners for Kansas State, they'd lock on, and everybody else, they took the wide receivers out of the game. Lewis Lavender being worked on by Reggie Roberson, the quarterback, who settled down since the start of this football game. And really solid performance.
Yeah, no question about it. And a nice job for the offensive staff of Cal with their play calling on that second series. Strang in motion. Short drop this time. Quick pass. Got that one to MacArthur. And he'll take it out of the 35 to the 37. And again, little counter punching to keep K-State off balance and also run some clock, Mike.
And when the ball's on the hash like it is here, Ron, you put formation to the field and you get the rotation of Kansas State to the field. Then Lewis Lavender sitting over here, number 20, and he's got one-on-one coverage. They're working a little bit on him right now.
I'll tell you what else I like that he's done. Roberson now has completed 6 in a row for 89 yards. They're also giving him some short stuff he can gain confidence with. Here's an option play. Open side of the field. He'll keep it. He'll have the first down. And finally stopped at the 44. Buell and Matt Butler combining on the tackle.
Remember, we talked, and I said when Jeff Tedford said, well, he won the job because he knows the offense the best. I said, well, you know, when a coach tells me that, I think the other guy's got better ability, or he'd say he's got ability. But I think what Reggie Roberson is showing right now is he understands the offense, and he's comfortable right now.
Well, and it is obvious that his team offensively is comfortable around him. Again, 3 wide receiver set. Echimandu, the lone setback. And they fake it to him at a quick out pass string, make the catch. And that he did a smart thing because I don't think that was behind the line. It was very close. You're going to say
it's
incomplete.
Going to be an incomplete pass.
Yeah. But he was very smart to get down and try to catch it because it was close to being away from the line of scrimmage. So that stops the clock with 5:09 to play, opening quarter.
Here's the throw, and I think they're calling his knees down.
You know, it looked like he trapped it, Mike.
And then ball bounced in.
So it is 2nd down and 10. Callaghan puts 2 tight ends in the lineup. They send one out on the formation, hit from the blitz, and Rashad Washington has 2 hits in this ball game, and both of them have been necktie parties. One on special teams and that one on the blitz. It is a loss of 7, and that one takes Cal out of their rhythm and also gives them a 3rd and very long.
See, Bobby Elliott, the defensive coordinator, has seen enough right now. He's going to heat up Reggie Roberson. Rashad Washington, I talked to him on the phone the other day. He talked about Kansas State. He has a goal of being the best defense in the country this year. He's the next best great defensive back for this Kansas State program.
3rd down. They need to take it all the way to the Kansas State 46-yard line. Straight ahead, Echimandu. His first carry of the night. He'll take it to around the 44-yard line before Justin Montgomery stopped him. And it'll be kicking time for the Golden Bears.
And people might say, well, why would you run the ball when you got 3rd and long? Because your defense is playing so well right now. Kick them in the hole. Of course, number 43 could change all that if he catches this football and gets good return blocks.
Mike, would you kick to him, or would you kick it away from him?
I'd kick as far away from him. He'd be getting the ball in the stands over here on the right or left.
Lucas Everett stands back to punt, waiting for the snap at the 30-yard line. Under 4 minutes to play, opening quarter. 10-7 our score. K-State on top. And a high pass, and they almost got to it. Able to get the kick away, and a wobbly spiral is going to bound out of bounds inside the 25, and there's a flag down back around the kicker.
Brandon Archer from Kansas State, number 46. Ooh. Personal foul.
They didn't call it running into. No. They called it roughing.
What happened is Brandon Archer left his feet. This is a Big East refereeing crew.
Well, the crowd, which is highly partisan toward Kansas State, obviously did not like the call, and as you could see, judge for yourself, but it was very close. The kid couldn't stop. I might have called running into the kicker, but not a personal foul on the play. But that's the way the referee is the man who was back there, and he threw the flag. It is a 1st down, and let's see if Cal is able to take advantage of this one. Rather than K-State on offense, they get it at the 41 of the Wildcats.
Reggie Roberson. Let's see if we get a misdirection passing play or running play here.
Echimandu right up the middle. Boy, bangs hard, spins off the tackler, goes to the 35. Josh Buell is the man who makes the hit in the middle.
We talked to Echimandu, and what a team guy. I asked him, I said, how's the pressure? You got 3 tailbacks pushing you right there. He said, whatever's best for the team.
Born in Nigeria, lived there until he was 5, then moved to this country. His mom is a teacher. He has done his undergraduate work, is working on his master's. And Mike, I asked him, I said, are you going to go back to Nigeria? Are you going to stay in this country? And he said, you look at a fellow countryman of his who played here at Arrowhead, Christian Okoye. He said, I haven't made up my mind what I'm going to do. We'll talk more about the youngster. He's an extremely interesting young man. 8th play of the drive. And this one's going to be whistled down as a delay. Going to be a delay of game.
Prior to the snap, delay of game on the offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Mike, the other thing about Echimandu that is so interesting, academics got him 1 year, then he injured a knee, so he literally was out of football for 2 seasons, and he ran track. But yet he said on the phone the other day, and you had to have been as surprised as I was. He ran the 100 meters and the 200 meters. And I asked him how much speed he had lost. He said, I worked so hard after the surgery. I actually think I am mechanically better, and I'm faster than I was then. You remember seeing that with some players?
He's a strong running back, too.
Yeah. So 2nd down. They set the screen. Echimandu makes the catch inside the 35, keeps his balance, and is close to the 1st down. Hey, you remember this, Mike? Classic concentration. I'm going to play this little game with you. All right? All right. This is his first name. See, the light is dim.
Okay.
Adem Chin-O-B. Adem Chinobi. That's his first name. And his last name, that's an Etch-a-Sketch. Echamandu.
I'm going to call him Joe.
Adem Shinobi Echamandu lists Hawthorne, California as his home. Mandarino, the fullback, gets to carry, and he'll take it in the vicinity of the 30. That's going to be enough for the first down. So right now, Cal is doing what Mike had suggested after that very quick 3 and out. They now are being very smart in their play calling and eating up the clock and keeping that tough K-State offense off the field.
Yeah, and they've got a long drive going here, helped by the roughing the kicker.
Yep. 9 plays, 50 yards for Cal. And as Mike said, aided by a roughing the kicker. Marcus O'Keefe comes in replacing Echamandu at tailback.
Quarterback draw formation here.
What they call empty backfield. Sets in the pocket. Going to throw it. Got a man over the middle and just overthrown, intended for McConan. And McConan had gotten away with a little bit of a push off to get himself free in the end zone.
Randy Jordan with good coverage in the secondary. But again, California using a lot of different formations, a lot of different schemes against this K-State defense. And that's the advantage you have in the first game. Arizona State played Kansas State last year in the bowl game, and Kansas State, Dirk Cutter's very close to Jeff Tedford, and they have Oregon ties, so I know they've talked over the summer.
That surprises me. 8:32 to 5:14 of time of possession. Quick pass, got it in the flat, gets by the tackler at the 20, at the 15. It is going to be very close to first and goal as MacArthur got by Buell, and it's a gain of 20 yards in the play.
What has happened now, Ron, is they flip-flopped the corners, and they found Lewis Lavender again. Not that that's awful player, but he's having a rough time right now against California's wide receivers. MacArthur made a good move and got away from Lewis Lavender.
My apologies to Buell. He made the tackle. It was Lavender that he spun around and caused him to miss the tackle. 12th play of the drive coming. First down, and it is just outside the 10-yard line. O'Keefe right up the middle, spins off one tackler, takes it down to around the 6-yard line. Marcus is a redshirt freshman out of Carson, California. Not real big for a tailback at 6'1", 175.
No, George Cortez, the offensive coordinator, said he's our best running back in the open field. Echamandu and Arrington are more power runners inside.
Well, we're inside of 1 minute as the clock runs down to 38 and now 37 seconds. Boy, the second drive of the ball game, Vincent Strang made a diving catch on a 3rd down and long of 16 yards to keep the drive alive. And ever since then, this Cal offense seems to gain confidence with every snap. Roberson for the end zone. Got a man there, and he couldn't hold on. Mandarino, the fullback, was falling down as the ball got there.
Chris Mandarino never really had his feet, Ron, as he came out of the backfield. Got hit by the linebacker coming out of the backfield, and then couldn't regain his footing and almost still brought that ball in. Brian Hickman was the linebacker. Did a good job of jostling him down the football field.
Brian Hickman, preseason All-Big 12, senior out of Mesquite, Texas, 6'3", 230. 3rd down. They need the 1-yard line. Marcus O'Keefe, the lone tailback in the backfield, but they hand it off to the man in motion. And McConan at the 2, down to the 1. He didn't score, but I think he's got enough for the first down. It is going to be first and goal, Cal. And the clock is down to 7, down to 6 seconds. They'll get a chance to talk about it as they're going to go into the second quarter in excellent field position with a first and goal as a timeout has been called, and they're going to bring the chains in.
Good job blocking by California. Again, just getting in the face of the Kansas State defenders.
Where he stretched it out, it looks as though he got it, but now that they stretched the change, no, he did not. And McConan just limped off the field.
With the yellow line in here, Ron, we're going to take a look at it.
Stretches
he
it
didn't
out.
Make it.
Nope.
Good call by the officials. I think what Jeff Tedford will do is let this clock run out and think about his decision here a little bit.
Mike, what would you do? Or we'll save that until we come back from break.
Tell you exactly what I'd do. it's on the road. I'm going for the touchdown.
I mean, supposedly a neutral site, but you're right. Clock is down to 3, down to 2, down to 1, and that is the end of the opening quarter. And we have had some fireworks offensively as Cal has been up to it. But this man right here, Darren Sproles, an excellent first quarter. 10-7, Wildcats on top. Mike, here's the key play that kept this drive alive.
Yeah, Brandon Archer, number 46, hits the kicker, and now we
called him for a personal foul, the 15-yard rather than 5. And so it kept the drive alive. And right now, they got it, and they're doing what you thought they would do.
Yeah, I like this call right here. Go at it, and you're on the road. Get a touchdown if you can.
And Chamandu must be having cramp problems again because he is not in the ball game. O'Keefe lines up a tailback. Here comes the option, and they're going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage by Buell and knocked down for no gain. And K-State will take it over.
I don't like the play call, Ron, because they've had success running inside. And when you string out an option play like that, you know, that exactly what happened could happen to you. But I like Jeff Tedford, what he did. He went for the touchdown. He showed his team, hey, we're here to get a touchdown. They still lead the ball down on the 2-yard line and turn it over to their defense to stop Kansas State.
Remember this before the night's over. 15 plays, 78 yards, 6 minutes and 33 seconds, and they come away with nothing.
Now your defense has to keep them down here.
You also cannot let Sproles go for 99 yards. Breaks it on the right side, cuts it back, and he is really stuck this time as he crosses the 5 by Giordano. Leckie with a good block, the center. Nick, a senior out of Grapevine, Texas. As we mentioned off the top of the telecast, Nick was a guard, and they moved him over to center. He is the best of the offensive linemen, as so the coaches say. And this is a very good offensive line. They're very tall, rangy, and they have worked well together. Also comes into the lineup, replacing Sproles.
First freshman to play in the offensive line for Bill Snyder.
Sproles is so short, it is unusual to see a tailback who's over 6 feet standing up in that tall formation behind the line of scrimmage. There's Alsop right there. He's going to have the first down as you see him cross the 15 out to close to the 16. And Adrian Karsten, what do you have for us, big guy?
Set me up perfectly, Ron, from right behind the Cal defensive bench. The reason they're having so much trouble with Darren Sproles is because he's only 5'7". He stays so low to the line of scrimmage. Then he breaks through. That's the first opportunity the Cal defense line or the linebackers have to see him. They can't play any higher. They can't afford to. That's exactly what the Wildcat offensive line would like. Then they get pad under pad and push you around.
Well, and he worked in the weight room, and Bill Snyder told us, he said, it worries me a little. I didn't want him to get too bulked up because he's so short. Quarterback draw. Here's Roberson, and he can bring you severe pain with the run as well. He has 5 yards on this play.
Talking about Darren Sproles, the first drive, Ron, he got hot right off the bat. Got a good block by his fullback, Travis Wilson. Got in the secondary. It was taken down by Donnie McCluskey. Then he came back on the option play, made a linebacker, Brian Tremblay, miss him for the touchdown.
And Wilson again with a devastatingly good block. I mean, he has fun, probably as much or more fun throwing blocks like that than he does carrying the football. So Sproles, 7 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown. Well, they fake it to the fullback. Roberson's going to keep it. He'll have the first down, and he has 5, 10, and 15 yards more. Good heavens. Giordano holding on for dear life. And just like that, it is an 18-yard gain. And Jeremy Clary, number 66, the big sophomore out of Mansfield, Texas, credit him with an outstanding block on the play.
And when you see Kansas State in that formation where Roberson's back there with a fullback, that becomes a pass formation, or Roberson's going to run that football.
Well, this drive started at about the 1.5 yard line. And now K-State playing the ball conservatively, doing what they do best, and that is running the football with Roberson and Sproles. Roberson going to hold on to it. Still looking for a spot to run. He'll get about 3 yards to the 41 before Hunter comes over to make the hit on him.
Ron Roberson's a great story. In '99, he was signed out of high school. Kansas State had 2 junior college quarterbacks played great for him, Chad May and Michael Bishop. Everybody said he's going to be the next Michael Bishop, but he got beat out by Jonathan Beasley in '99 and 2000. 2001, they played 2 quarterbacks and he was 6-6. He didn't start till the 4th game last year, so he went from a hero to a goat to now he's a hero again.
Zips this pass, has it complete. It's going to be a first down as James Terry makes the catch. Now, this is the point I was making off the top of the telecast. He is not given very much credit about throwing the football. He zipped that one pretty quickly.
Yeah, Harrison Smith's a corner that got beat early in this ball game by James Terry. Now he gives him a big cushion. James Terry's going to be open because everybody and their brother is going to play the run here.
So it is a first down as the Wildcats have the ball across midfield for the first time. Kansas State by 3. Cal took it all the way to the 1-yard line, actually the half-yard line, and could not convert. Everybody's covered. Roberson's going to run, and he'll wind up with about 4 yards, maybe 4.5 on the play. Lupoy, a junior out of Walnut Creek, 6'3", 250 pounds, is there to make the tackle.
Ron, you talk about high expectations this year. We've been in Kansas City for 2 days. Kansas State thinks their fans are talking about a lot of big things this year. Now, they've had some good football teams. I think there's a question mark on this football team right now on defense.
Second down, about 5.5. Here comes the option. Roberson fakes the pitch, going to hold on to it, gets by the tackler, 35-30, 25 at the 20, gets another block, loses the ball. Travis Wilson, I believe, yes. Travis has done everything but carry the football, but he has done it exceptionally well, and he just recovered the fumble.
One thing he's not going to do probably is carry the football. He's going to block, and he's the Johnny on the spot right here. As Roberson gets hit from behind and the ball is loose, and Travis Wilson is right on that football.
Travis Wilson is the type of player who is an absolute coach's dream and delight, because he doesn't fuss about not carrying the ball. He wants to be a part of what's going on, and what he does very well.
Woody Hayes used to play guards at make guards, high school guards, and the fullbacks. That's what Travis Wilson is.
Option to the open side and does not pitch back to Sproles, and a very short gain is a nice defensive play by Misa. And Francis has been in on at least 4 tackles so far. He has had an excellent game tonight out of Mount San Antonio College.
Mount Sac. Now you go back to that 4th and 1 play, and now all of a sudden the field is flipped. Kansas State, Roberson now is taking over this ball game. Cal defense has got to tighten up here right here.
Davin Dennis, number 15, checks in at wide receiver. Sophomore out of St. James, Louisiana. And Travis Wilson, the fullback, comes to the sideline. Quarterback draw, Roberson right up the middle. He's going to only have about 1.5 yards, so it's going to be 3rd and long for the Wildcats as Ryan Riddle puts the stopper on him.
Yeah, he's out of El Camino Junior College. They had Jeff Tedford signed 28 players holding on Kansas State. 28 players in the offseason. A lot of junior college players. He was ranked in the top 20 of most services in recruiting. So they had a big year last year, and they recruited well, and the program's well on hand to be a top-notch program.
You know, when we visited with the Cal staff the other day, as we get the marking of the penalty here, obviously one of the first things that we ask him.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
Was why he wanted to play this game, because Mike, 3 schools in America have the fewest number of starters returning: South Carolina, Florida, and Cal. Coming up, which is really a home game for K-State here, and a team that's ranked number 5 in the nation. And he said, hey, I want the exposure for my kids, and I want them to see a program like K-State and how far they have come under Coach Snyder. We would like to duplicate what they've done.
Remember what Arizona State did last year. Mirror image.
That's right. Quick pass underthrown, but he had to, and now here comes a flag. And my question on this would be, was the ball catchable?
Harrison Smith against James Terry. They're working on Harrison Smith also. Of course, he didn't have a head to look for the football because Harrison Smith took him out. That's what they're talking about, whether he could have caught it anyway. I think he would have needed a net.
Well, they are going to call pass interference against Cal, and now the Cal fans will probably react the same way the K-State fans did on the roughing the kicker.
You won't hear them, Ron, because there's about 25 here.
Yeah, that pass was well short and into the turf. So but the officials are going to call it, and it goes down to the 9-yard line. There are some of the Cal
they
fans.
are.
Yeah.
Following their team, and I'm sure a lot watching back in the Berkeley area.
They got excited last year, and well, they should, because Stefford's done a really nice job. Roberson spins off a tackle, gets tagged again, hit very hard and spun down, but he's still going to have a gain of about 5 yards in the play. McGrath is a man who really knocked him down hard.
We're talking to Lorenzo Alexander, the defensive tackle. The one thing I think is in their mind, this whole Cal team, is everybody thinks last year was a fluke, and they want to prove it's not. And his conversation when we talked to him on Wednesday was, we want to play in a bowl game this year. They couldn't play in a bowl game last year.
12th play of the drive. It started, they're going to say officially, at the 2-yard line. And right now they have it at the 5 of Cal. Power I set straight ahead. Saba, the big fullback, 260 pounds, and he gets nowhere. And the man that Mike was just talking about, Lorenzo Alexander, along with Lupoy, combining on the tackle.
Ron, turnover under Jeff Tedford, 1-10 to 7-5, and you look at the turnover margin. I was just thinking, he had a great year last year. He ought to run for governor. They got 135 guys running out there.
Start to say you'd
California.
have to see it in line, wouldn't
yeah, but he had a better year than all those guys running for the governorship.
What he'd have to do, they'd have to get a quick movie contract. Going to be 3rd down, and the ball rests at the 5-yard line. If you just joined us, 10-7 K-State. They scored very quickly in the ball game. Sproles, the tailback. They fake it to him. Now throw wide open in the end zone. Look who caught the touchdown pass. Travis Wilson, as a flag comes down.
You know, I think that flag's going to be on Blymiza for hitting
it is
Roberson after the throw.
You're exactly right, Mike. It was roughing the passer, and we were talking about Travis didn't care if he touched the ball or not, but right now he's the happiest guy in this state.
The road grader caught a pass. I go back to the 4th-and-1 play. That was completely turned around.
On the defense, the touchdown is good. 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
This also is a change as far as ruled. You don't have to take it on an extra point.
Now, I like this.
I
like this call because I think now you can onside kick or pooch kick it. You don't want to kick it out of the end zone. You want to get some action.
13 plays, 98 yards, 7 minutes and 19 seconds. And Ream tries to put K-State up by 10 points. And he knocks it right down the middle. So with 7:37 left until halftime, K-State 17-7. Travis Wilson on the receiving end of the touchdown. Well, the Cal defense getting a well-deserved rest after a 98-yard drive by K-State. You look at Travis Wilson. We had talked a number of times about his really outstanding blocking ability. And obviously the Golden Bears were looking for him to block again in that play, and they slid him out on the flat, and he was wide open for the touchdown. Joe Reed will kick it off, and here's that 15-yard assessment. And he's going to pooch it, trying to get it in between Bethia at the 5. It's a head of steam out of the 20-yard line to the 21. And a reminder, it is Sunday Night Baseball presented by Nextel at 8 p.m. Eastern. This week, the Seattle Mariners battle Nomar, Manny, and the Red Sox as both teams look to battle for playoff contention. That's Sunday night on ESPN, 8 o'clock Eastern Time.
I don't think they can catch the Yankees, but they can win that wild card. And I'll tell you, Boston's got some good players, good pitching. Ramirez, a strong hitter.
Marcus O'Keefe continues to operate at tailback. The redshirt freshman. And they give it to him. They try to sweep to the right. Going to be hit and caught from behind. Matt Butler. Mike, here is where K-State really can hurt you. And the reason, we go back to your point you made earlier. You're much better off when you can to run straight at them, because side to side, they're too quick for you.
Yeah, they run really well. And this is a big series for Cal, because they just had a letdown when they're on the 1 yard line, and then all of a sudden they can't score, and then Kansas State shoves it right in their face and takes the football down the field and scores 7 points. So now you got to answer it.
Echimandu still on the sideline. We saw ice on his knee. And of course, with the new rule, can't find out unless the kid wants us to know exactly what happened. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver, MacArthur. And that's going to stop the clock at 6:43, and it's going to be 3rd down and long.
Remember, we talked about a question mark this year on this year's Kansas State defense. When you look at last year, they didn't allow the rushing yards, 69.5. So that meant everything was long yardage for every opponent. Now they've shown they've given up some running yardage here in the first half. And they're new in the middle, new at the defensive tackle and the middle linebacker.
Aaron Rodgers, the backup quarterback. No, beg your pardon, that was MacArthur, 6 rather than 8. We thought they had brought him into the ballgame. Roberson rolls the pocket, lops it, and it's overthrown. It was MacArthur that he was looking for.
So the game could get away from you right now. That series of plays looked like an offense that had their head down a little bit. It didn't react well to the adversity. And this is a young football team. They lost a lot of players. Now their defense really has got to come out. First of all, special teams got to stop.
There was a very high pass from center just a moment ago. Now they did get a roughing the kicker out of it. It's only the 2nd time that they punted tonight. Lucas Everett, junior out of Roseville, California. And again, it's a high pass, but they had good protection. Line drive. Sproles runs away from it, and it's not going to be returnable. Inside the 40 to the 39-yard line, and we'll take a timeout. 6:26 left until halftime. 39-yard kick, and it's the Cats by 10.
ESPN's College Football Saturday, the 2003 BCA Classic. Brought to you by Labatt Blue. Imported from Canada. Look up, see blue. And by DirecTV. Movies, music, and exclusive sports from the leader in digital satellite entertainment.
A lot of folks wearing the colors of Kansas State, since Manhattan's only about an hour and 45 minutes west of here. Mike, you just got it back. Good defensive stand. Do you play conservative, or do you go on top right here?
It's a good time to throw the ball deep to Terry, but you also got great running back here to give them the football.
Sproles right at the middle. They don't need a home run with the pass. They get a home run with the run. 20, 25, still on his feet, and he's inside the 25-yard line.
Boy, he's something. Darren Sproles, 5'7". They list him at 170, but I'm telling you this, he's heavier than 170. Gets the ball in the draw play, and then he bursts into the secondary. The thing I like about him, Ronnie, is he's running fast all the time. When he doesn't juke step, and he just moving downfield fast.
And as you can see, wide receivers, everybody downfield blocking extremely well for him. So it's a first down. They move the chains all the way down inside the 25, and it's the same play, this time to the left side. And even when he gets short yardage, you know, he still makes you miss enough to have plus yardage. Key play.
Ron, here's where the air went out. Josh Buell, number 7, on the option play. But at the time I said it was a bad call, question to call. But Echimandu was hurt on the sideline. He's your back that runs inside. So
well, he's 225, and Marcus O'Keefe only 175.
And the option usually is a good play down on the goal line, but Buell made it not a good play.
Boy, that's for sure. Danny Morris is checked into tailback now. Number 34. And Roberson's going to keep it. And let's check in with Reese Davis. How are you doing?
Ron, doing just fine, thank you. Over on ESPN2, the Literacy Classic, Grambling and San Jose State. 13-0 lead for the Spartans. Scott Brisloff finding Kendrick Starling. He'll get it deep into Grambling territory. That would set up. Jonas Davis goes in for the touchdown, and the Spartans appear to have things in control up on top of Doug Williams' team. 19-0 now in the fourth quarter.
Reese, they're getting ready for Florida next week. They're just trying to score some points here. Florida, a team that has some problems at quarterback. They play a young guy there.
They faked the pitch and throw for the fade in the end zone. Got a man there, and it was just a little too far over James Terry's head. Harrison Smith, the corner, just got completely turned around.
James Terry has had Harrison Smith's number here, works him inside, and then runs the go route. Harrison Smith is beaten on the play, but Roberson can't get him the football. Knows it, too.
So Joe Ream, junior out of Wichita, comes in to attempt a 36-yard field goal attempt. Almost to the far hash mark. His first one he hit tonight from 22. Good pass, plenty of distance, and you see the accuracy right down the middle. So with 4 minutes and 25 seconds left until halftime, our new score, Kansas State 20-7 over Cal. Well, those are fans on the sideline working overtime, and they're going to tonight. It's been an extremely hot week here in Kansas City. And thank goodness the sun behind the stadium and a little bit cooler, if you can use that term. We started off at 95 degrees. Bethia back deep, and here's Ream's kick. Going to take it from 2 yards deep. Deep flag comes flying in as he's tackled at the 20-yard line. And Danny Morris, the number 3 tailback, downfield on special teams to make another tackle.
You ever seen an air go out of a balloon?
Holding during the return. 10-yard penalty from the end of the play. First down.
Mike, boy, and you can feel it.
Yeah.
Body language on the Cal bench. All of a sudden they went from great exuberance to, as you said, just pretty flat. And you look at by half 1 yard in the second quarter, 140 for K-State.
But you know, when you have a young team, sometimes you have to overcome that, and that's what Jeff Tedford and his staff has to challenge right now. They have to get something going right here, or this game's going to slip away.
The biggest thing is, I think they got to at least pick up 2 or 3 first downs, even if they don't score, just to keep the K-State offense off the field before halftime. Here comes pressure. Got a man deep over the middle. Now coverage comes over, and it's going to be intercepted. That is McGill. And he is down at the 43-yard line in one play. And K-State's offense is back on the field.
He tried to go for MacArthur and just overthrew the ball. And good coverage. Bobby Elliott, the defensive coordinator. Good coverage. James McGill right there to pick it off. Now here's another home run possibility. 29 interceptions for K-State. Now here's a home run chance right here. You got them back on their heels.
And Sproles, the tailback, is the man at the very top of your screen. They split him out wide to the right. Roberson over the middle, should have been intercepted, and the ball was dropped by Nixon. Tim, the redshirt freshman out of Compton. Boy, he was in open field. He might have even scored.
I think what Polite was saying is, lead me down the field. I've got him beat. And he tried to throw it on a rope. I think Cal's secondary was confused when all of a sudden Darren Sproles split way out.
Second down and 10, 4:05 to play until halftime. 20-7 K-State. And Roberson pumps it. Now going to go long. Got a man wide open. It's Terry. He's going to walk it home. 10-5. Touchdown K-State. Good for 57 yards. And Harrison Smith. Whoa. Wrong zip code on that one.
Yeah, that's it. When you got a team that the air is going out of the balloon, you go for the juggler, and they're going for it right now. They're going for all the blood in California.
Mike, formations on those two plays totally looked as though they confused Cal's defense.
Them a little bit, but again, you're looking at a defense that's lost a lot of starters, and on offense, Jeff Tedford does a great coaching job, and his Cal team is in a rebuilding mode because they've lost all their players.
Contact at the line of scrimmage, so Ream's kick, which was good, they'll do it all over again.
I think
to the snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty.
I told you I'd like to beat James Terry. He's going to get a lot of opportunities this year in the secondary catching that football.
Why Harrison came up, I do not know.
Confused.
But he really bit hard. And the toughest thing for Terry was make sure he didn't drop it. He was so wide open.
We may see Aaron Rodgers here before the half. Not that Reggie Robertson's done anything wrong, but they need a change. They need something to spark them on offense.
Ream knocks it home. And for 3 minutes and 54 seconds left until halftime. Now 27-7 K-State. We'll be right back.
All right. A lot of formations, Ron, by Kansas State in that last series. And when they moved Darren Sproles around, and you move him out there, and then all of a sudden you get to stop and go. James Terry just runs free here. But when they moved Sproles out, it looked like the safety got lost a little bit. I don't know if they got confused or what, but Harrison Smith bid on the stop and go and just let an easy touchdown be thrown there.
But the deep man for Cal standing at the goal line, and his ball club all of a sudden down by 20 after rebounding in the first quarter and actually outgaining the Wildcats in the first quarter of play. And his teammates run back and say, do not run it out. Reese, what do you have for us?
Well, Ron, coming up on the Pontiac High Performance Halftime Report, we're going to give you the latest on Maurice Clarett. We're also going to unveil the Speed Rush. These guys are going to set the table for the 2003 season.
And Mark's going to help us out. He's going to tell us how good Nebraska's going to be this year.
Absolutely. If you believe that, I've got another one to tell you.
They might agree to disagree periodically on the Speed Rush. It'll be 3 minutes, and you'll have everything you need to know.
Okay, guys, we look forward to it. Echimandu checks back into the lineup, and we'll see if the youngster is close to 100%. As we mentioned, 6 feet 225, and he is a speed and a power back. Rashad Washington comes up to make the hit on him. Washington has really left his mark on this first half as well. Mike, when he gets to you, he comes crashing in hard.
He's like a linebacker playing in the secondary.
Leader on this ball club, captain.
He was recruited by Kansas State, Miami, Arizona, played basketball at Kansas State 2 years ago. He's just a great athlete.
Echimandu on the draw play, puts a head down. He'll take it out to the 26. Derek Marceau, a sophomore out of Spring Valley, California, making the stop for K-State. And the luxury that the Wildcats have right now, they're plugging in some second-team people along with first-teamers to get them a breather on this very warm night as we go under 3 minutes left until halftime.
Yeah, hot night usually play on emotion in the first half, and then the second half the emotion leaves. And so Bill Snyder trying to protect his players and get them rested for the second half.
Well, they show blitz in the middle, but they stay at home. And a quick pass over the middle, got it complete. Whoa, what a stick. McConan really got belted by Tetuan, but he held on to the football. That's a nice job of concentration. And the biggest thing is they'll move the chains, and they still have 2:28 left until halftime.
Yeah, if you're a defensive player on Cal's team, you're saying, phew, I feel a lot better now. Give me a Coke. I got 3 more plays.
Jesse Tetuan, sophomore out of Topeka, 6 feet 185. O'Keefe back into tailback. Short drop. Goes the fade near sideline. Got it complete, and he's off to the races. MacArthur at the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Cal. And how about that? They bounce right back with a 65-yard touchdown.
And Reggie Roberson did it. And the balloon is being blown back up now. Randy Jordan gets picked on right here. A good pass to MacArthur, just thrown perfectly, and then MacArthur shows good speed here. He has takeoff after he made that catch. This young football team, this young Cal football team hanging around in this game.
Tyler Fredrickson comes in to attempt the extra point. He knocks it home, and we are now back to a 10-point game. And I can promise you, that guy right there is not real happy. You could see him in the background as MacArthur went flying up the sideline. Here it is again, Mike.
You know, Ron, you talk about Bill Snyder not being happy. He had Terrence Newman out there last year. Terrence Newman was playing both corners. I mean, he was all over the field. Here's a catch, great concentration, but here's where he separates. Right here, MacArthur shows speed.
Played at Los Angeles Palisades High School. By the way, Bowler tonight, last year's starting quarterback, is getting his first start. We found out just before kickoff time as his Cal Bears are playing, and he gets a start for Baltimore tonight against the Washington Redskins.
Good quarterback. He had a great year last year and leading the Bears to a good season. This is a good young football team. We talked about Arizona State last year, going to Nebraska, losing the game, then coming on and having a great year under Dirk Cutter. I think the same thing could happen for Cal.
Well, they proved on that drive right there that if you lose focus and concentration for a moment, that they can come back and bite you. Good kick. Sproles way to the back of the end zone. Not going to return this one. They'll take it over to 20 with 1:58 showing on the clock. Well, tonight ESPN brings you this game in high definition, sponsored exclusively by Phillips and Best Buy, which will change the way you will watch sports forever. And this Tuesday, August the 26th, ESPN's new original dramatic series, Playmakers, premieres at 9 Eastern in ESPN High Definition, followed by Miami and Louisiana Tech on August the 28th. Be sure and call your local cable operator or DirecTV to determine availability of ESPN HD in your area.
I'm going to get that Sunday. I'm going to go buy one of those tomorrow. I want to see the game the best way you can see it.
Well, that's the best way you can see it. I can promise you that. First down at 10, K-State. They go from the shotgun formation. Roberson hands it to Sproles right up the middle, and a nice job of attacking him and knocking him down. Tremblay, the middle linebacker, and that's the way you got to tackle him. You cannot go for a kill shot. You can, but you don't always come up with it. Look at the first half possessions.
Yeah, big plays in the first possession, the 4 plays, a touchdown. Then I thought Cal did some good things on defense, but now they've kind of wore down a little bit as the game went on.
Clock runs. We're now under 90 seconds remaining until halftime. And Roberson's going to call a timeout. That play clock was down to 3, and he's going to come over to the sideline to talk it over. Bill Snyder said to us yesterday, you ask him, how good a football team are you? And he said,
he's not sure. You know, he said, we're very average right now. And I think all coaches feel that way, but I think he's got some questions on his football team. But the second half, I think you're going to see this Cal football team. I think they found a quarterback in Reggie Roberson. In the first half, Darren Sproles has broken loose a couple times. And here's the reason I think in the second half it's going to be exciting for Kansas State and Cal to watch this great tailback. Best back in the nation.
Well, he had 60 yards on the opening drive. That 50-plus yard run, and then this is on still another drive. And you see, once he gets in the open field, he's constantly cutting back and turning people around.
But here's the thing. He accelerates in this, and when he makes a cut, he's working downfield. 11.7 yards averaging. 11
100-yard games. Roberson, all the time in the world, going to go deep. Got a man and just beyond the outstretched arms of Terry.
Harrison Smith might have got away with a little push there, but still don't think he'd have made the catch.
Stops the clock, 70 seconds left until halftime.
Ron, I want you to think about this for the second half. Here's the throw from Roberson. There's a hand on the left hand.
I think it was a good no call.
Yeah, I do too. I want you to think about this. Roberson's a great running quarterback. There's been some in the Big 8 and Big 12. Trev Alberts is sitting back in the studio. I want him to think about it too. There's been some great ones. Jamal Holloway's probably the best that I've seen in the Big 8, Big 12.
Deep drop this time, gets it out on the flat. That's Polite, and Polite makes the catch, steps out of bounds shy of the 40-yard line. Flag is down, and it's going to be holding K-State. Second time that they would have been called for holding in the ball game tonight.
You know, when you have a game like this and you have a neutral refereeing group, it's hard to get to know them because you only see them this game. So both Cal and Bill Snyder and Jeff Tedford.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. Repeat third down.
In case you missed Adrian's story off the top of the telecast, Bill Snyder put on a parka day before yesterday in the blazing heat at their practice to demonstrate to his team that even as an older gentleman that he could withstand everything they could. And he admitted to us on the sideline yesterday, though, he said, I'm glad practice ended. He said, I was getting a little woozy. I was afraid I was going to pass out.
I'm going to throw a net around him.
Roberson, boy, great protection again. Far sideline overthrown. Davin Dennis, the intended receiver.
Pass was intended for number 15, Davin Dennis.
Well, something, I have a feeling there are a lot of coaches around the Big 12 conference that if they don't have scrimmages tonight or something else going on, that are watching at least a part of this ball game. And one of the things they have to be impressed with, Mike, is the play of the K-State offensive line in both pass protection and also in run blocking.
Done a good job so far. The offense is not the problem. Defense, there's some question marks on that.
Jared Bryce in his first punt of the night. Spiral's not going to turn over, and it's not going to be returnable, but it takes a K-State bounce and comes out of bounds inside the 45-yard line. Well, ESPN Original Entertainment presents Playmakers, ESPN's first ever dramatic series, chronicling the behind-the-scenes and off-the-field lives of players, families, coaches, and an owner of a fictional professional football team. Playmakers premiering Tuesday, 9 Eastern on ESPN, also available in high definition on ESPN HD.
Talk about playmakers. We've seen some playmakers in this game.
Well, that's for sure.
And Reggie Roberson still has 48 seconds and 2 timeouts to get his team back in this football game a little closer.
So we're set to go. 48 ticks on the clock, as Mike said. And they go in really good field position. Just inside their own 45-yard line. Good protection. Pumps it. Pressure from behind. Has to be careful and gets it to a wide open receiver who is Toller. And Toller steps out of bounds at the 40-yard line of K-State. That is a nice play as Hickman finally pushed him out.
They had a receiver running scot-free, Brandon Hall, down the middle of the field, and Reggie Roberson couldn't find him. See if we can find number 11. Tight end, running right down the middle of the field. Can't find him to get him the football.
Well, safeties were playing possum, though, Mike. They would have come pell-mell if that ball had been thrown in that middle.
No, I think they could have completed it.
39 seconds on the clock. Sets a screen to the short side of the field. And that's O'Keefe, and a nice open field tackle by Buell as a flag comes down. Now holding against Cal.
No argument from the Cal bench. So they may have.
Giesel, I think, is the guy who got caught for grabbing.
Yeah.
You know, there was a motion penalty on the very first play, and I was thinking, uh-oh, first game, but It's been a couple of holding calls, but for the most part, it's been pretty cleanly played for an opening game.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the end of the play. Repeat first down.
So now Cal has 30 seconds to work with. But Tedford would love nothing more than to get some points on the board in this 30 seconds and go in at halftime at least trailing by 10. Obviously, he'd love to have a touchdown. And the Cal offense has shown that they can strike quickly. This time from the 45 of the Wildcats. And to go deep, near sideline, well overthrown, and McConan, the man that they were looking for.
Yeah, good coverage by Lewis Lavender. He's sitting right there. Play took too long to develop.
He's let his headgear not completely off on that.
MacArthur coming back into the game, Ron. He's an exciting receiver. Junior, 6'1".
Strang is also back in the ball game, who caught the first touchdown of the night for Cal, and also had that big catch on third down back in the first quarter. 4 wide receiver set. Protection breaks down. He's sacked at the 43-yard line. 52, Kevin Huntley, a junior out of Washington, D.C., 6'8", 265 pounds, and a very good pass rusher, and he proved it right there.
Now, Bobby Elliott was the defensive coordinator, was telling me about Huntley on a twist move where he comes around and makes the play. He said he's coming on and going to be a great defensive lineman for us. Showed it right there.
So a quick timeout is called to stop the clock. 14 seconds showing up on the stadium clock, and Roberson goes to the far sideline to visit with his head coach. Besides the heat, it has been a very long first half. These youngsters going to sit down and try to take on a lot of liquid at halftime if they possibly can. Mike, what do you do in preparation? Can you hydrate players literally before the ball game, or you just have to make sure that they drink a lot during the contest?
You have a good trainer, good doctor with you. You tell them to drink and just keep drinking. So you got water on the sideline. You got all those other drinks, power drinks, and just want them to keep drinking fluids.
Third down and just almost a mile. 26 for Cal. Biggest thing is 14 seconds left until halftime. And they go with the draw play. O'Keefe right up the middle, and he will be stopped at the 50-yard line, and that should be the final play of the first half unless Cal can get it lined up here. 3 seconds, down to 2, down to 1, and we are at halftime. 27-14, Kansas State on top as we get to the intermission point here. Adrian Karsten, let's check with you on the sideline.
With Coach Tedford, Coach, we did not see much from Eshamandu, your playmaker, in the running game. You calling him more on the second half?
Good chance of that. We need to get some running game going a little bit. We had it down in there. Probably should have punched it in down in there that one time. But, yeah, we're going to play him and J.J. Arrington in the second half.
All right, if not, do you have enough confidence in Reggie's arm to win this game?
No question. He's doing a good job, and you'll probably see Aaron a little bit in the second half also.
Appreciate it, Coach. See you in the second 30.
All right, Adrian, halftime score at K-State 27-14 over Cal. Now here's Reese Davis with the Pontiac High Performance halftime report. Reese. So Cal's got some catching up to do. They're down 27-14. But Mike, I have to say, I'm looking back at the first half, probably the thing that surprised me most is all the big plays on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
Big plays. Darren Sproles has had a big first half. Al Roberson's had a big first half. I expect Al Roberson to do a little bit more outside running the second half, but Cal has not stopped Kansas State's offense. You're right, Cal has had some big plays too, not as many.
What can they do more of to exploit the K-State defense in the second half, Mike?
Well, they're down, but they can't get away from their game plan, because their game plan, they got to be able to still run the ball a little bit more.
Sproles, and he has this one 2 yards deep, going to return it right up the middle, big opening, and finally gets tagged hard at the 30-yard line. And boy, the Cal sideline went crazy over that hit right there. They were glad to see somebody finally put a stopper on him, and I'm not so sure that the ball didn't come loose. The officials are in the pile, and it is going to stay with K-State, but that was a heck of a stick on Sproles as he brought it back. Let's take a closer look.
And the ball's out. Harrison Smith made a good play on that. Special teams. Now Cal's job is to stop the running game and stop the big plays in the passing game to Terry, number 5. Easier said than done.
No question. And I think that Roberson turned and called an audible on the very first play as the ball is thrown complete to Polite. Adrian Carson, let's go back to you.
Ron, 14 players started this game tonight at 280 pounds or more in 95-degree heat, as it was at kickoff. They're expected to lose 7 to 8 pounds in perspiration alone. There's just over 8 pounds in a gallon of water. So how much weight in water do they lose? We've experimented with this before. There you are. They didn't lose that much all at one time, but think about what they went through in the locker room in order to feel fresh to come back out here and replace what they lost.
Okay, Adrian, go get something to drink there. Hydrate yourself. Wendell Hunter comes up to make the tackle right there. The short gain on the part of Sproles. Had over 100 yards in the first half, and thus the new record holder at Kansas State as far as 100-yard games. And there you see it. 11 rushes, 119 yards, and the new record with 11 for his career. And Mike, as long as this season could turn out being, he could break a lot more records before, or extend that record, I guess I should say. Option to that open side. Roberson loose. And the amazing thing about him, he glides. He doesn't look like he's moving that quickly. All of a sudden you look and say, while that back was trying to catch him, he picked up 20 more yards. That's 33 right there.
Yeah, talked about Roberson, that we expected them to go outside a little bit more with Roberson in the second half on the option play. And he is gliding here. Donnie McCluskey makes the play on him. He averaged 8.4 yards rushing in the first half. So the running game from Kansas State is just back to like it was last year.
With 5 of 10 throwing, 128, 2 touchdowns, 12 rushes, 117 yards. So you got 2 guys in the backfield in this much play that have over 100 yards as we're early on in the third.
There's Sproles again. He makes you miss. First half stats, Ron. We had a lot of offense, not much defense. Rushing yards for Cal down there a little bit, 36 yards. They've got to be able to find a way to run the ball a little bit more to set up the passing game than run the football against Kansas State.
By the way, in looking, Coach Tedford, that's the most points that his Cal team has given up in a first half since he has been in Berkeley.
Yeah, the first half, they jumped on people last year. They scored 244 points, the opponent 127. Check off again.
Here comes that option. And this time he pitches it. Sproles turns the point, has the first down, and a flag thrown right in the middle by the umpire. And as you've heard us and a million broadcast teams say the same thing, that normally is offensive holding. Wendell Hunter forced him out of bounds. Yep, and that's going to be the call. Bill Snyder, what an amazing ride it has been since he came to Manhattan. And this, to me, is one of the most amazing stats of all. He is in, what, his 15th year. In the first 14 years he was there, now waiting for the call there. In his first 14 years, he won 116 games. Mike, that was as many games as Kansas State won in the previous 48 years prior to him getting there.
Yeah, there's his record there. Wins bowl games. Steve Miller, somewhere out there tonight's watching this game. He was the AD that hired Bill Snyder. So take your hat off to Steve Miller if you're a Kansas State fan.
Blitz coming from Cal. Roberson. They pick it up, but the pass thrown low and incomplete at the 23. That's an amazing number, though, and it shows you the fortunes of K-State and why these people are so excited about how far they've come under this gentleman, because in 14 years for him to win as many as they had won in the previous 48 years is just an unbelievable stat to me. Of course, back then they were averaging about, what, 2 to 3 wins a season, and that was it.
Then they went downhill a little bit more, and then Bill Snyder came in and resurrected this program. He has done a marvelous job. I can't come up with a term to say what he's done in his years at K-State.
Blitz again. Roberson tries to get away, hit on the ankle, and that was enough to slow him up, and he will be stopped. One of the rare times that he will only pick up about 1 yard on the play.
Here's the one thing, you know, we talked about Kansas State. They're going to make a run because they got a great schedule. They're going to make a run for the national championship, the Big 12. But Al Roberson runs the football a lot. He takes a lot of hits. So he has to stay healthy through this entire season for them to make a run for this thing.
Only the second time that K-State has had to punt tonight. And it brings up a question as Al Roberson comes off the field. Jeff Schwinn is the man that they list as the backup. If they do push this thing out to an even larger lead as a flag comes down, it's going to be delay of game. Would you make sure that Schwinn got some playing time in his first football game?
I would ride Schwinn. I would get him in there because you're a hit away from going to the second quarterback when you run your quarterback as much as K-State runs Al Roberson. Now the option guys, Barry Switzer and all those option guys over the years, Fisher DeBerry, they probably wouldn't agree with me because they feel like their quarterbacks will take the hits.
Bright to kick again, mixing the deep man for the Cal Golden Bears. Going to angle this one for the sideline, and he kind of yanked it a little bit. It winds up in the middle of the field, and boy, the deep man just got decked. 2 flags are down, and it looks as though Cedric Williams is the man who popped him.
I was just thinking, no halo rule this year, so they may get some return guys may get hit this year. That's why the rule was put in.
Interference with the opportunity to catch the kick on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
No, there you go. 15-yard penalty, and from where he hit him, all of a sudden they're going to have very decent field position compared to very bad field position. You could see he lost his way, and a fair catch had been signaled for, which was very smart on Mixon's part. Then you can't touch him.
Mixon's thinking you should have had that halo rule in.
Oh boy, Williams is not wearing a halo on the sideline. If Bill Snyder has anything to say about it, he's wearing horns right now.
No, the halo is going to be a lynch. It's going to drop to his neck.
Well, you see the numbers on Reggie Robertson in the first half. 12 of 22, 211, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. And again, O'Keefe works the tailback. It's Toller in motion. And O'Keefe, not much doing. And here's the difficult thing. And again, with the new rule on injury reports, it is very hard to figure out exactly what is wrong with Echemandu. But Echemandu weighs 225 pounds. O'Keefe weighs 175. You got to keep this as part of your game plan, but Mike, 175 is too small to be running up in between tackles.
You know, I know Adrian's over there in the sidelines, but I know there's new rules this year on injuries.
Audible Short drop, quick out pass, and should have been caught by MacArthur. He was falling down. Adrian Karsten, let's go back to you on the sideline.
A little bit more, I should say, on a new federal regulation to really, they say, protect all athletes. It prohibits all of us as sideline reporters from providing medical information without the athlete's prior consent. All we can do from here on out, Ron, we cannot guess. We won't speculate. Many times in my case, I never know, especially where the parents are. I'll do the best that I can to give you the significance of the injury while the player's not in the game.
Okay, big guy, third down. It's about 8 to pick up the first. They need to go out to the 33. And the screen pass, oh my goodness, what a nice play by Brian Hickman. He was right there to whack the ball carrier or potential ball carrier down as soon as the ball got there.
Sometimes you play man coverage on the screen pass, and that's what I believe Brian Hickman was sitting there in man coverage on O'Keefe. And he could have caught the football, but Hickman just lowered the boom on him.
Now Lucas Everett standing back at the 11-yard line. Third time that he's punted tonight, and on all three, the first 2 times, he's had a high pass from center. Let's see if we can get that thing down a little bit. Yeah, a lot better this time. But the ball's off the side of his foot. He got almost a perfect snap, but was not moving forward when he caught the ball. And as a result, it's like he was off balance, and he just, well, it looked like one of my drives. We'll take a timeout. 10.5 minutes left in the third. It is 27-14, K-State. Well, still another sign in the stands tonight of K-State fans thinking they're going to wind up in New Orleans to be one of the teams to play for the national championship. We'll talk more about their schedule, non-conference and conference, as we get along in this ball game. We still have a long time to go. That punt, by the way, was only 14 yards. And this is the best starting position by K-State all night. They have it at the 39 of California. Draw play. Sproles right up the middle. And he takes it for about 5 yards to the 34.
Darren Sproles, when he was in junior high school, Ron, he ran wild, and they said, well, he can't do it in high school. He did it in high school. He rushed for 79 touchdowns in high school. You can see what he did at 2002, and then recruiters came in and said, well, he's too small. He may not be able to do it in college. He's done it here. You know, do it in pros.
Well, he's 14 carries, 130 yards, and a touchdown tonight. Here comes the blitz off the corner. Throws the ball quickly, complete to the tight end, Brian Casey, and he's inside the 15, and it'll be first down, K-State at the 11-yard line. 23 on the play.
Brian Casey is like a tight end that blocks all the time. He's 6'7", 270. He's replacing Thomas Hill tonight, the receiving tight end. Here's the blitz, but Al Roberson gets rid of the ball quickly here before the blitz can get to him. Brian Casey makes a great catch, and now he's a big lumbering tight end.
Tremblay finally made the tackle. They can pick up a first down without scoring. They lead it by 13 and seeking some more. Here comes the option. And the pitch back to Sproles. And Sproles is going to be knocked down for no gain. In fact, it may be a loss in the play. And that would be, I think, the first of the night. Tremblay is out there to make the tackle again for the California Golden Bears.
Now, Tremblay was beat on one play for a touchdown. He squared up right there on Darren Sproles. He made sure he was going to make that play. Darren Sproles was recruited by Kansas, Missouri, and Minnesota. Boy, how your seasons can change when you lose that guy.
Look who they just brought into the lineup. Travis Wilson. Something tell you that maybe going to have a lead on this play? He's out there to block, and Wilson takes his man out, and Roberson will score. And again, Travis Wilson with a key block, and he just took the defender completely head over heels. 11 yards.
Second half, Bill Snyder's going to get Roberson on the outside on the option play.
Look at this block, Mike.
He's a road grader.
Oh, I'm telling you. He really gets into the body so quickly, and it's really fun to watch. As much fun to watch him as it is to watch the ball carrier. And kids like that deserve a lot of credit, and they don't get much attention. He also was a touchdown pass tonight, so it's been a red-letter evening here at Arrowhead for him.
Going to go for 2 right here to get up by 21 points. Coaches got that card up in the press box. They say we need to.
Well, they're going to run the option. Virtually the same play. Going to cut it up, and he'll have the 2. And defenders now standing and looking at each other like maybe responsibilities were not taken care of the way they should have been. Let's go back and look at the touchdown. Mike, tell us.
Roberson on the option play fakes to Wilson, the fullback. He picks up the block, and then all of a sudden you got to take the tailback, and Roberson's free. Same play on the option for the 2-point play. Fakes the ball. Touchdown, Kansas State.
ESPN's College Football Saturday, the 2003 BCA Classic, brought to you by Sprint. Introducing PCS Vision, clearly a whole new way to look at wireless.
Well, here is a bit of trivia for you. I bet you didn't know that Kansas City was actually the city of fountains, and this is Country Club Plaza Fountain. Really beautiful. On a warm night here in Kansas City, Missouri. And the players on the sidelines trying to cool off just a little bit. In fact, the timeout has been taken. Both teams have gone to the sideline, and we will get this one moving here pretty quickly. 8 minutes and 46 seconds left, third quarter. Well, I hate to even refer to it. We're certainly not going to show it because we don't want to somebody pay tribute to somebody playing a fool, and the guy did a really good job of it. But a streaker came out of the stadium and ran onto the field, and the police did what they should have done. In fact, a very large man that put on one of the best form tackles we've seen tonight and put the fool to his back, and he's been taken into police custody. One of the things that I hope this year in college football that we see even tougher restrictions on, fans in the stands, and that's where the ticket tells you can be, are absolutely wonderful. And it's what makes college football different from professional football. The color and the pageantry. But on the field is no place for participation on their part. And that young man just found it out. He may be in there for a while. It may not be the class on Monday. The FIA. Big opening, open at the 40, at the 50, and he takes it inside the 40-yard line of K-State. 62 yards on the return, and K-State with an injured player down.
Joe Ream made a good tackle.
Davin Dennis, who is their #2 wide receiver, tried to make the hit on him, and Mike, he is injured and down at the 47. Joe Ream finally made the tackle.
Well, Joe Ream does what every kicker needs to be. He's a safety. He's sitting back here. You don't see him yet. Now you see him. Now he makes the play, because if he doesn't make the tackle, that may turn into touchdown. So Joe Ream may have saved his defense some points right here. Now he just he slowed him down enough for some help to come. Good job by the kickoff man, Joe Ream.
Well, it is Ream who is down rather than Davin Dennis. It is a thing of duplicating numbers, and the wide receiver and the kicker have the same number, and it is Ream who is down at the 47-yard line and is being attended to. You can see he's favoring his left arm and shoulder.
He's all right.
Last year, as we mentioned, got off to a little bit of a slow start. Has gotten off to a very fast start in this ball game tonight. And a new quarterback coming into the lineup, Aaron Rodgers. Mike, what can you tell us about him?
He led Butte Junior College to a 10-1 record. Now he's got Garrett Cross, a tight end that played with him.
J.J. Arrington also comes into the game, number 30 at tailback. He gets the handoff and is going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage and knocked down for a loss. Montgomery there.
Last year, Aaron Rodgers said he was in a quarterback battle of Butte. He only played there 1 year. So he said that really prepared him for this quarterback battle. And when Jeff Tedford talked to us the other day, he really talked in glowing terms about Aaron Rodgers, that great passer. But Reggie Roberson really, I thought, did a very good job in starting for Cal tonight.
Under 8 minutes to play, third quarter. 35-14, K-State. Rodgers hit, gets by one, gets by a second, and is not going to get by 3, 4, and 5 as he's gang tackled at the 37. Brian Hickman, the first man to get there, along with Justin Montgomery.
And Aaron Rodgers is thinking right now they're a little faster than they were at Butte Junior College, but they reacted a little quicker. But I think this guy is going to be a fine quarterback for the Cal Bears, too. And here, I like Reggie Roberson over there. He's still in the game. He knows the backup quarterback's in. He's still trying to help him on the sidelines.
Toller comes into the lineup, number 10. You know, McConan is still playing, but he is limping noticeably. Pressure off the corner, going to be hit, and that is Tetwan.
That's why that play by Joe Ream was big, because he saved a touchdown, and then you turn it over your defense and you stop them. Unless they try a trick play right here, they're going to. Tetwan comes in, hits Rodgers. Unless they're going to get the football back.
Well, you can see on the sideline, it looks as though the youngster is going to be okay. Joe Ream, everybody patting him on the back and also on the shoulder, and that's what he appeared to be favoring when he came off the field. So obviously he is over that collision that he had. Another high pass, but they'll get it away in time. And this spiral here is not going to turn over. Going to hit at the 3 and go into the end zone. So we'll take a break. 6:14 left, third quarter. 35-14, and that was a 41-yard kick. Franco Harris and everyone in Pittsburgh should be applauding right now. The immaculate reception, who could ever forget it? Pittsburgh at Three Rivers against Oakland. That man created a lot of havoc for a lot of defenses in the National Football League.
Kenny Stabler hadn't forgot it.
So K-State with the ball at their own 20-yard line. Sproles, nothing to the left, takes it up the middle, and it'll be a gain of about 4 on the play.
El Roberson has had a big night. Fakes to the fullback and then takes off around the left side. Shows you a good running ability. Then they started to open him up a little bit more on the option to the outside. Kind of glides into the secondary. And gets off, fakes the pitch there, gets in the end zone for a touchdown. And we talked a little bit about it. I'm going to get your point of view here in a minute.
Sproles, face mask is going to be the flag. I don't think it is of the major variety because the defensive back was too far away from him. Harrison Smith finally pushed him out of bounds. They're going to call personal foul on the face mask.
Looked like it was El Roberson's outstanding running quarterback. Here's Sproles. You're going to see the hand, McCluskey. But talking about Big 8, Big 12 quarterbacks that run the football, El Roberson's going to be talked in the same name. Jamal Holloway, I think, is the best. I think Mac Brown and Jim Donnan were coaches down there, offensive coordinators for Barry Switzer when he was playing. I think of Thomas Lott, Tommy Frazier, Darren Hagan from Colorado. Other running back quarterbacks that are quarterbacks running Big 8, Big 12 you can think about?
Jack Milden jumps into my mind. Bradley.
Missouri.
Donnie McCluskey comes up to make the tackle on a very short gain on first down as Sproles comes back to the huddle. This will give you a little idea, or a better idea, of how small he is around his teammates. Now, Adrian made the point in the first half. He's almost in the middle of the huddle. See, he disappears around those linemen. And that's one of the things that the Cal defensive players and everybody who plays this ball club is going to have trouble with it, because he runs low and you don't see him until he pops it out.
He's a great running back.
Marrera comes into the wide receiver position. Pass, got it complete. Tight end Brian Casey again, and Casey's going to go all the way down to the 20-yard line before Giordano makes the tackle, and we have a flag about 3 yards behind the play.
No, James Terry was arguing about being
After
held.
the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the offense, 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. It will be first down.
Yeah, Brian Casey's turned into the target for Al Roberson. Takes over for Thomas Hill, who's a pass-catching tight end. It's out for a few games here. High pass, but he's 6'7".
You know, Mike,
usually what happens here is somebody's running and they hit a guy when the play's over.
You know, Mike, the irony of this situation, Coach Tedford last year used his tight ends a tremendous amount. We expected to see 4 different ones in the ball game tonight, and yet it has been K-State who's utilized the tight end, particularly Casey on a couple of key plays.
You're right. Cal threw 50 passes, completed 50 passes. Tight ends last year.
Terry, touchdown. Harrison Smith trying to defend him, and Smith just bangs his fist on the ground. He's got to be frustrated. Flag is down to the end zone, but unless there was offensive pass interference we didn't see, this touchdown's going to stand.
Said this before, James Terry could be an All-American receiver and benefit.
There are 2 penalties on the play. Holding on the offense, pass interference on the defense. The penalty's offset. Replay the down.
Because he's going to get open so much this year. He's working against Harrison Smith here. He gets by him. Harrison Smith reaches out, but he's got him beat right now. And Al Roberson throws the ball right on the money.
So the holding and the offensive pass interference offset, and the ball comes back to the 35-yard line. And particularly if K-State winds up and scores anyway on this drive, I have a feeling Bill Snyder is just as happy as a lot of coaches would be to get to see more offensive reps anyway. Yeah, opening ball game, they got a huge lead, 35-14.
They got Troy State next week, so they're going to be heavily favored over them also.
So on first down, you see Roberson look back to check the backside, and now they're going to get him. He's going to be sacked at the 41-yard line. Parson is the man who got there to him. It's the first time that they've sacked him tonight. Monte Parson. Monte is an interesting story because he comes from the military as in an older guy. And we were kidding Bob Gregory, the defensive coordinator, asking who was older, him or Monte Parson. Monte comes in and gets the sack right there. He said his motor runs all the time. He doesn't slow down very much. So now K-State with a second down. They got to take it all the way down to the 25-yard line. James Terry split to the bottom of your screen, and he looks up at the play clock and calls a timeout. Did he get it in time? Yep, I don't see a flag down, so they did not get delay. We'll take a timeout. 3:44 left in the third. K-State by 21. It's Monday Night Countdown at ESPN at 7 Eastern. Join Stuart Scott and the best in the business for all the news from the NFL preseason. Then at 8 o'clock on ABC, Al Michaels and John Madner in Denver from Monday Night Football. Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts take on the Broncos and their new quarterback, Jake Plummer.
See, Mike Shanahan just got a new contract, well-deserved, and Jake Plummer is going to be interesting at Denver.
Our situation, 3:44 to play, third quarter. K-State on top comfortably, 35-14 right now with a second and long. Roberson gets by a couple, still looking, throws it over the middle, and very wisely just threw it into the ground. Intended receiver was Polite. McCluskey put the lumber on him, though. The ball was thrown too low, impossible to catch. Got to be third down and 15.
And Kansas State's all of a sudden getting sloppy offensively, making some mistakes, getting holding penalties, breaking down in protection. But that's what happens in the first game sometimes, especially when you get a big lead.
Yeah. That's right, Mike. That's exactly right. And the worrisome thing for Bill Snyder and for guys like yourself who have been there and seen this happen, once you lose Ole Miss, sometimes it's really tough to grab it back. Blitz coming up the middle. Roberson drills this one in and out of the hands to the intended receiver, Polite, and that ball right there was extremely well thrown. He threw it from the 50 to the 20, and I mean, it was just flat for the entire 30 yards. Nice pass.
And you can't throw the ball any better than Roberson throws it right here. Just took his eyes off the football long enough to drop it.
So it's punting time. Jared Bright with the third punt of the night for K-State. And again, Mixon is the deep man for the Cal Golden Bears. Very high kick. Fair catch has been signaled for and is made at the 14-yard line.
Good kick.
Well, tonight we kick off the college football season where you can experience football like never before in high definition on ESPN HD. Sponsored exclusively by Phillips and Best Buy. Watch college football Saturday primetime, Sunday night football, Monday night football on ABC HD, and starting Tuesday the 26th, ESPN's new original dramatic series Playmakers in high definition. The best football 4 nights in a row in high definition. ESPN HD, now available nationwide.
I've watched that in baseball. John Miller and Joe Morgan, they have it behind them, and you see more of the field.
And also, you get so much depth, like in golf. Yeah. You see him creeping up on the blitz. Steps up, drills the ball, has it complete. Nice throw and catch by MacArthur. And you could see the arm strength of Aaron Rodgers on that play right there. Hickman on the tackle.
I was just thinking about that TV. Not a TV salesman, but I stayed at the Holiday Inn Express last time.
Yeah. Well, you need to
talking a lot about TV. I'm going to buy one. Need to visit who?
With some of our engineers, particularly Cliff. He will help you out as far as what's good and what's not. About to go under 3 minutes of play in the third quarter. Aaron Rodgers sets in the pocket, lofts this one, tries to put some touch on it. We have some contact, and primarily the hat was thrown because MacArthur was out of bounds. Randy Jordan had the cover.
Jordan did a good job. See, he backed up into him and rode him out of bounds where you want to. I think this officiating group has done a pretty good job tonight. Here's MacArthur, and he's working against Randy Jordan. Watch him turn his hip on him. Just knock him out of bounds. That's the way you do it.
J.J. Arrington, number 30, comes into the ball game at tailback. They fake it to him. And this ball, wow, he was just drilled from close range. And impossible for Brandon Hall, the tight end, to catch that one.
Yeah, it's going to take a while for Aaron Rodgers to come out of junior college. 1 year playing there, but that's a good find for California because you get him for 3 more years to play for you.
With all the throwing by Cal now, this ball game beginning to stretch out as we still have 3:02 to play third quarter. And we soon will have been playing 3 hours. And a timeout has been taken by California. Aaron Rodgers going to the sideline. He didn't want to get a delay penalty and wants to go over and talk with Coach Tetford and the staff and see exactly what play they want him to run on this 3rd down and 10.
Ron, here's the national championship formula. You have to have a successful running game. Kansas State has it. Roberson and Darren Sproles, and they got the great fullback Travis Wilson blocking. Quick strike offense. James Terry has to step up as a wide receiver, and they have that. Good field general where you're going to not make mistakes. Craig Krenzel last year for Ohio State didn't make mistakes. Roberson has not made mistakes this game, and he won't do it this season. Defense stopping the run, that's still out for debate right now, but I think they are good defense. Favorable schedule. They got a great schedule. 8 home games, a 9th here in Kansas City. Managing the clock. They do a good job of that with the running game and stopping the running game. Solid special teams with Darren Sproles back there as a kick returner. Here's the schedule. They're going to beat them. They're going to beat them. They're going to beat them. They're going to have a tough time with Marshall. They'll beat them. That 2 weeks right there will determine whether they're going to be a national championship type team.
Third down. They need to take it to the 38-yard line. Sack at the 19 as K-State just finally crumbled the offensive line, and it was Eccles, Quentin Eccles, the 4th sack of the night by the Wildcats.
You're exactly right. They collapsed the pocket, and Aaron Rodgers had no place to slide up because the pocket's coming back to him. Eccles does a nice job of running over the offensive guard.
It's going to be the 5th punt of the night by Everett. His best punt of the night. Wobbly spiral, turns over, and Sproles with the fair catch will make it down at the K-State 37-yard line. So that's a kick of 39 yards, and the Wildcats are going to come back on an offense with a lead of 35-14. He's still got just over 2 minutes to play third quarter.
When you play Kansas State, you got to get the ball away from them because they can monopolize the clock because they run the ball so well. And I don't know how you feel, but I know this. Roberson has proved to me he's a pretty good thrower tonight. He's got good touch. He throws the long ball well. So I like his chances as passer, too.
Well, you know, we made the point early. You got to play a little ball control and keep their offense off the field. No question about that. Sproles, little stretch play here, and he almost takes it to the 40-yard line. Adrian Karsten, back to you.
The executive director of the Black Coaches Association is Floyd Keith. Floyd, very simply, what do you hope to accomplish with this game here tonight?
Well, first and foremost, we want to be able to support our ethnic minority scholarships, which we offer every year. There's 10 of those. And secondly, this serves also as a platform for our mission, which talks about equity in hiring for ethnic minorities on all levels and all sports professions, about education and scholarship of our membership. And then thirdly, but most importantly, about youth and understanding about the history of where we are, where we want to be, and promoting those professions that we hope youth will go into, aside from playing on the field, but wanting to be coaches and athletic directors.
Floyd, you've all been great hosts. We appreciate it very much. And one of the last kickoff classics, Ron.
Okay, Adrian. In fact, this game will not exist next year. And Mike, as far as the 12-game schedule, we've got to talk about that before this ball game's over tonight. That is over after this year until like 2008. I want to get your opinion on that. They set the screen back into the middle. Terry, great defensive play. Staying at home, Wendell Hunter. If Wendell's not there, that play may still be going, and we may be talking about hearing the K-State fight song again.
Wendell Hunter did a good job of staying home and making that play. And again, if you're Bill Snyder, I just get the feeling you're not happy right now. Not happy with the way this game's going. And your offense can't get a first down and struggling a little bit. And I said, the Heat, first half you play with emotion. Second half, you lose that emotion and you get a drain, especially when you got a lead.
Bright, 4th punt of the night, off the side of his foot. Not a good one. Now takes a K-State bounce. No return by Cal here. And it's going to go inside the 25-yard line. And meanwhile, Bright, the punter, was continually blocked and contested by Riddle. And that's the reason for the booing. As after he kicked the 35-yard punt, Riddle stayed on him. Came back and tried to almost got him with the blind side, and then Bright grabbed him with the shoulder pads and tried to pin him.
Always told my players, don't count your money. Don't be counting your change. You need to be ready to get hit. And that's exactly what Bill Snyder's telling me. Don't be looking at the program. Look at what's going on. But you like kickers with toughness.
Marcus O'Keefe continues to operate a tailback. But Jamandu, we just have not seen much of him tonight. Puts the pass in the flat, got it complete, and close to the first down out to the 33-yard line. And Mandarino, the fullback. James McGill, the number 2 strong safety, will come over to make the tackle. The clock runs out at the end of the third quarter. As you take a look at K-State and the option play that has been so painful for Cal tonight as Roberson scored right there. We'll be right back. There you see the scoring by quarters. Didn't take K-State very long because Sproles on the first down at the very first play almost took it the distance. He went 51 yards. So 10, 17, and 8 the scoring by the Wildcats, and 7 and 7 and no score by Cal in that third quarter. Nice move right here, and it's going to be a gain of about 12 yards. Hundley will come over and make the tackle on Marcus O'Keefe. He showed some good wiggle right there as he took it off tackle and brought it out to the 47-yard line. That'll move the chains. And that's something Cal has not been able to do since way back in the first quarter.
No, but I really believe O'Keefe is going to be a back. Now, we don't know what happened to the starting tailback tonight, but O'Keefe is going to be a guy that's going to break some big plays for the Bears.
Ichimondo on the sideline, and undoubtedly has got some leg problems. They've had ice on him. O'Keefe, 7 carries, 32 yards, and this quick pass is complete and across midfield. Hickman will make the tackle on O'Keefe.
That was a nice play by Brian Hickman, because you have to play off a blocker and make that play. He just really stayed with it and showed great form there to make that tackle. They got pretty good linebackers, and Matt Butler's the question mark in the middle. He's played well tonight.
You know, Hickman was in the same situation last year. See, Butler started 6 games for them last year, but nobody knew how Hickman was going to do. He wanted to play in every game and get some preseason recognition, some postseason recognition last year. So they're not devoid of talent there. Movement all over the place, and Marceau looked as though he might have jumped.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense.
I'm going to call it on California.
Penalty, remain second down.
There's Joe.
Yeah, we're gonna do the classic concentration for you again here, Michael. Get you to work. Get you to work on Joe's name.
Yeah, Joe. I just referred to him as Joe. That's what the coaches do.
Coach Cortez did say that's what he did. Screen pass, and this thing is J.J. Arrington, the intended receiver. You didn't see this in the first half. This because his name is so different and so long. This is what all right, Adim Chinobi, that's his first name, and his second name is, there's the etch and sketch, Echimandu. Adim Chinobi Echimandu from Nigeria.
I got it. I got it.
4 rushes, 18 yards. And he's been slowed tonight with some problems with his wheels, and they've missed him, particularly inside the 1-yard line when they did not go between the tackles. And boy, again, Aaron Rodgers going to have to come out from under center and use another timeout. And so we'll take the break with them. 13-15 left in the ball game. K-State by 3 touchdowns. Well, as usual, the students helping us with our promo. SportsCenter is next immediately following this ball game. That's in about 13 minutes, 15 seconds of game time. 3rd down, they need to take it to the 43-yard line. Rodgers steps up this time down the sideline, got a man complete to MacArthur, and he is knocked out of bounds inside the 25-yard line by Lewis Lavender. 31 yards.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers shows a good rifle arm there with good accuracy. Waited on that throw and caught MacArthur as he got behind Lewis Lavender.
Mike, the interesting thing is he does show really good arm strength there, though. But to show you lack of ball identification on the part of Lavender, the quarterback stared down the receiver, and he still made the receiver look very good. And he was still wide open. So they move the chains again to have the ball inside the 23-yard line of Kansas State. Blitz right up the middle this time, and the middle screen got to complete Arrington. Arrington 10-5, touchdown California. Good for 22 yards.
They had a bust. Kansas State had a bust. Josh Buell, the linebacker, was on a wide receiver, and I'm sure the Kansas State coaches are not happy about that. And a missed tackle in the secondary, and a touchdown for Cal, which is great for Cal because a young football team needs some good things to build on.
You can see Bill Snyder
not happy.
No, not happy with the situation. You had heard me say that they were coming with the blitz, and all of a sudden the numbers got scrambled in the secondary. So as you take one more look at the pass to J.J. Arrington, and he takes it for pay dirt, we will take a timeout. New score, 35-21. K-State's lead cut to 14.
ESPN's College Football Saturday, the 2003 BCA Classic. Brought to you by Saturn, makers of the highly adaptable View, redesigned L Series, and the fun-to-drive Ion.
Well, the fountain's in front of Old Union Station, downtown Kansas City. The railroads have been coming through here north, south, east, and west for a long time. Way back in the 1800s, this has been a hub for all kind of rail travel.
Better be ready for the onside kick or the pooch kick if you're K-State now. 12:34, you're down 3 touchdowns.
Actually 2, Mike.
2.
Fredrickson, and he's going to boot it away, and he's going to kick it so far that Sproles is not going to return it. And here's a reminder, ESPN Original Entertainment presents Playmakers, a new dramatic series about the lives of pro football players off the field. Playmakers premieres Tuesday, 9 Eastern on ESPN, also available in high definition on ESPN HD.
Here's the thing, Cal, now when you talk about that score, now that doesn't allow Bill Snyder to get just win in this football game. So he's got to stay in with most of his starters at this point.
Well, there's 12:34 left to play in the ball.
A lot of time.
Yeah, but here's where the woulda, shoulda, couldas come in. The half-yard 4th down play, and Cal tried to go wide instead of inside and didn't score any points. Roberson takes it to the outside, going to be stopped after a gain of 5. Here's that play, in fact. We have to call it the key play of the game.
Yeah, Josh Buell just breaks up that play from the start. Second look, they just do not block the inside linebacker.
Yeah,
bust on that play.
Started to say they were trying to reach with the center to block him. Why wouldn't you block down with the tackle? You still got the option. If somebody takes the quarterback, then you still got the pitch.
Well, Cal's not an option team.
Yeah.
You know, that's the first place to start with. Roberson, Kansas State is an option team. And it done very well with the option to the outside.
Roberson right there, that's good for 12 yards, just kind of glides. And as I mentioned earlier in the ballgame, he really doesn't look like he's moving that quickly, and all of a sudden, whoosh, he's by you. And watch the move right here. Fakes the pitch.
He had 228 yards rushing against Nebraska last year, 178 against Colorado. So he does it against some pretty good defensive football teams.
16 carries tonight, 141 yards. That ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage. Sports Center coming up next immediately after our ball game. 11 minutes and 46 seconds left in this one. Monte Parson got a hand on the ball. And Mike, I'll tell you who's coming to the lineup that has been all over the place. And he's running toward the sidelines now is Joe Meningo out of Los Altos Hills. Played at Foothill. Now that
Joe Meningo.
Yeah, I tell you, when you get Tremblay, Meningo, and Blymees in the lineup, sounds more like a Mediterranean law firm than it does a linebacking corps, doesn't it?
He's got some hair, too.
No pressure coming. It's Lorenzo Alexander. The pass is thrown incomplete. Flags all over the place. Cal's bench reacts to it. But Plight, the officials think, was interfered with by Tim Mixon. You know, Lorenzo Alexander, we haven't called his name a lot, and he is an awfully good football player for Cal, but K-State has done a good job of making sure they took him out of the equation.
Pass interference on the defense. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Polite's going down, curls. Mixon just strewing before the ball is there. Got his left hand all around him.
Look at Mixon, redshirt freshman out of Compton.
The option.
Yep, Roberson going to have about 5 yards in the play. Actually, they're going to say his knee touched after a gain of about 3 as a Riddle got to him.
Yeah, I was going to say Ryan Riddle did a better job on that play, getting to the option before Roberson got down the field. And that's what you got to do on the option play. You got to make something happen. Remember playing against those Oklahoma teams when Barry Switzer and the guys were running downhill when they caught the pitch from the quarterbacks. And, they were hard to stop.
This field right here is flat. Those fields had crowns on it that were unbelievable.
Big crowns.
You could only see half the coaches and players on the other side. Boy, Roberson gets taken down hard. Sproles in the pit has 10 and counted off at very close to 15 yards. And Roberson, a little slow, hops up and claps his hands together. But that goes back to what Mike Godfrey talked about in quarter number 3. Running so many options, he gets banged around a lot.
He's going to get hit a lot during the season. He takes a good hit right there.
McCluskey.
Yep.
First down and 10, 37-yard line.
Sproles still looks like he's fresh out there at the tailback position.
The interesting thing about Sproles, though, is as he gets the pitch, got to turn the corner. Almost has 10 yards in the play. Adrian says we were coming to the ball game today. I said, Sproles is so tiny. I said, he's 5'7". Adrian said, yeah, you got to be 5'8" to drive and ride the bumper cars even.
I'll tell you what, he may own a theme park one day.
Giordano appears to be shaken up. His shoulder.
2 Heisman candidates right there with a good evening. Darren Sproles may get to 200 yards rushing in his first game here tonight.
Well, this time 3 wide receivers go to the right. Morera along with Dennis out there. He's going to throw over the middle. Got him wide open. That's finished. Davin Dennis, the sophomore out of St. James, Louisiana, good for 28 yards and a touchdown. And the offensive coaches, they have tried formations and a couple of semi-gimmicks, and they've worked well tonight.
Yeah, they really have. And again, we've said it so many times tonight, the passing game's going to be there because of the threat of the run with Roberson and Sproles. And Dennis just got free in the secondary.
Joe Ream to attempt the extra point, and glad to see him in the lineup. He went down and stayed down after making the tackle on that return a while ago, but appears to be okay, and he knocks the extra point home. So we'll take a break. 10-14 left in our ball game, and Davin Dennis adds 7 more. K-State now 42-21. So 42-21, Kansas State pushes it back out to a 3-touchdown lead, just over 10 minutes to play. And Jared Bright is going to kick off for K-State.
May pooch this one.
That's what he's going to do. And Bethea on the run drops the ball at the 10. Has to retreat, and now is in a lot of trouble and covered up in purple. Well, it's Sunday Night Baseball presented by Nextel at 8 p.m. Eastern. This week, the Seattle Mariners battle Nomar, Manny, and the Red Sox. Both teams looking to battle for playoff contention. Sunday night on ESPN, 8 o'clock Eastern Time.
I like watching Sunday Night Baseball. Those guys do a great job. And our baseball show Bobby Valentine does such a great job on that baseball show. I enjoy watching that too. Carl Ravitch and all those guys. And wonderful.
Total yards. K-State 535. And Cal 334. And this is Arrington. Nothing to the left, cuts it back. It's going to have about 3 or 4 yards and tackled by Josh Buell.
This is the time you find out about your football team. Jeff Tedford now has got Arrington in there. He's going to find out a little bit more about this tailback, and that's the benefit of playing an early game. I told you today, I remember at Crestline, Ohio, starting in the 60s. We started practice on August 20th. Now they're playing games on the 23rd, so times have changed.
Well, for instance, if whether K-State makes it to New Orleans or not, if they were to win the North and play in the Big 12 championship game and then play a bowl game, Mike Bridgewater playing 15 football games. Chase Lyman on the receiving end of that pass right there. It's going to be enough for the first down. That, to me, as far as wear and tear, wow.
Too much. And the Southern Miss next. Now, Southern Miss, Rip Shear's the new offensive coordinator over there for Jeff Bauer. Colorado State. We got Colorado State and Colorado next week. Looking forward to that. Utah, new coach at Utah. Illinois at Illinois. And then they get USC. And I think USC's better than everybody thinks. I know they got them ranked number 8, but people are saying that Auburn, national championship type team, they'll have their hands full with Southern Cal.
No question about that. Yeah, that's an outstanding matchup. Here comes pressure. Going to try to run it, and Rodgers hit with a solid open field tackle. Josh Buell sets him down. One of the things that Coach Tedford commented on during the week was when the reporters asked him about K-State, the thing that stuck out most in his mind, and Jeff said the fact that they don't miss many tackles. When they hit you, that one person will take you down, or there will be a lot of help there quickly.
Yeah, and Josh Buell is a small linebacker. He's 6 foot 210. He's like the Darren Sproles of defense. He has 7 tackles tonight.
Yep,
they say he's too small. He's a 5th-year senior. 135 tackles last year. Not too small.
Arrington's going to have the first down. He got tagged pretty good as he went across the 35. And guess who was there? Rashad Washington. Speaking of guys that see, Washington is a safety, and Mike, he's 6'3", 210.
And I talked to him this week. He had glowing things to say about Bill Snyder. He said he gave me an opportunity to mature and become a responsible man. Now, that you can't say anything more about a head coach or any coach than that comments Rashad made about Bill Snyder.
No, quite true. Quite true. 7:49 to play. And it's a 42-21 ball game. And Coach Tedford, whether they are able to beat this gentleman right here or not in this ball game, and they got a huge mountain to climb, I think Coach Tedford would just like to see his offense continue to work as hard as they have and continue to come back. Pass right here, and in and out of the hands of the receiver as the defensive back actually got turned around in the play. And let's check in with Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Ron, in the spirit of the old Ask Adrian website, started about 4 years ago, I've had a lot of questions from football fans over the past couple of weeks about something called the new 2-1 rule, established by the NCAA for guys like this who start practice. We talked about the length of the season in early August. You can no longer practice hard twice a day, 2 days in a row. You can go hard twice a day, and the next day practice once. The whole idea is hopefully take the time you have in the classroom together and transfer that on the field. Coach like Bill Snyder likes it because when you play in the conference he does, you know you're going to get banged up late in the season. Avoid the early injuries from fatigue.
Thanks, Adrian. Going to get Mike to comment on that here after this play is over. That is complete and close to another first down. Strang, who has been there and consistent all night long.
Ron, you have 2-a-day practices, then you go to 1, and we talked to Bobby Elliott a little bit about that for Kansas State, and he said, well, you meet and you walk through it, and you meet again, you walk through, and then you practice. It makes for a long day. And here's the thing, I'm not so sure there's a lot of people injured around the country. I keep seeing Miami, Florida. They got injuries after injuries. And so I'm not so sure if you don't get in a routine in 2 days, and when you break that routine, maybe you get more injuries. I don't know. The jury's still out on that.
Got a shot of Echimandu on the sideline. He has not been able to play much tonight as MacArthur catches that pass, got knocked backwards, and they're going to give him progress to about the 48.5-yard line as Tetuan was the man who came up and put the hit on him. Mike, one of the things that also I wanted to get you to talk about tonight is the fact that K-State uses co-coordinators, and there are pros and cons in that situation as well, right?
I think a lot of the co-coordinators is to pay them more money, because when you give a title coach a title, you can pay him more money. And I think Bill Snyder still works it where as they have the same responsibility. Somebody's in charge, like Bobby Elliott would be in charge of the passing game, and the other defense coordinator would be in charge of the run game. It's a good hit right there.
Yeah, Scholl got to Rodgers after the ball was thrown, and again he throws he shows his arm strength.
Ron, I saw him before the game. He looked like a chief coming out of Kansas City, chief coming out of the locker room, man. He looks like a pro football player.
Now the coaches say that that Andrew is their best defensive lineman, and they really think he is extremely talented and as good as anybody who has played in that defensive front in a long time.
6'5", 260, can run. Now you're going to have to double him a lot this year if you're an opponent of Kansas State.
Well, with Rodgers down following the hit, Roberson, who started the ball game, is warming up, and a good round of applause for Aaron as he goes to the sideline.
And they got a third quarterback they like, Rich Schwartz.
Yeah, and I was kind of hoping he would play because it would be easier than Roberson, Robertson, and Rodgers.
The R's.
We got out of the R's and into the S's here. We're making progress. 6:10 left to play in the ball game, and Robertson comes in. I would imagine that if Aaron Rodgers is okay, that he'll come right back in after this play right here. Fakes the draw, now steps up into the pocket and throws it high over the middle and has it complete. And that's McConan who makes the catch and is stopped at the 16-yard line. Coming up next on SportsCenter, Scott Van Pelt and Kevin Frazier round the NFL Parcells pick and best in the U.S. Little League World Series. That coming up next on SportsCenter. And our clock is running now as we're about to go under 5.5 minutes to play.
I wanted to answer your question about Rodgers coming back after Reggie Roberson threw that ball so well. He's staying out.
You know, that pass was tall, and McConan did a good job of getting that high in the air and bringing it down. You see the blitz coming off the corner, and he's going to make the tackle. Brian Hickman coming off the edge. The linebacker got a good first step, and J.J. Arrington, as soon as he got the ball, was hit. And it's going to be a gain of maybe a yard on the play, and that's it.
A lot of good things for the Bears tonight. I think they're going to go back and regroup, and they got Southern Miss next. And they're going to be a pretty good football team. I think of Cal Bears. My favorite Cal Bear was Joe Cal.
Well,
and he was a fighter, boy.
I couldn't disagree. I couldn't disagree. The one thing Cal's got to do is they got to get Adim Ginobili healthy. Blitz off the corner. They throw in that direction, and the pass is overthrown. And now here comes a flag after Josh Buell put on the pressure. Boy, he's going to get called for personal foul. Mike, I took my eye off of him and watched where the ball went. Did he shove him after the pass was thrown, or what?
Bill Snyder's not arguing. So I think probably guilty.
Personal foul on the defense. Illegal contact to the head. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
A lot of referees in the stands.
Illegal.
But here's the play by Josh Buell. Feel like he Official called him hitting the head. Yes, threw his hand up there.
Show it is first down and goal. The 11th play of the drive for Cal, and the ball resting at about the 7-yard line. Short drop, pressure off the corner, shovel pass. Arrington breaks the tackle and takes it in for the touchdown. I'll tell you, Arrington, to me, has drawn a lot of attention, or should. He has looked very good since coming in the second half.
Yeah, and that's what you need this first game for. And Jeff Tedford, I take my hat off to him, playing this game. Now, he may not win this football game, but it's going to help his young football team. And I thought Reggie Roberson did a great job on that shovel pass. And he's still holding for this extra point. But I think they made a wise choice in this playing this game.
Now the kick is perfect. And with 4 minutes and 27 seconds left in the ball game, we'll take a timeout. And again, Cal cuts it 42-28. We'll be right back.
Great call by Jeff Tedford, because you set up, you get the blitz, and you got him working up the field. And Arrington gets the football underneath and shows you power to get in that end zone. You're right. Now he's going to be a factor in the tailback position. Rodgers going to be a quarterback, going to help in the quarterback position. The onside kick coming right here. Kansas State got their best hands team in there.
Fredrickson, let's see if he can pull this one off. Bounding around, recovered by K-State at the 47.
Well, Cal had their shots at it. Onside kick, it's just the way you want it to happen. You got a chance for the football. Here's again, Ron, one of the problems with Cal scoring is you can't get the backup quarterback in the football game.
Sports Center coming up next. We got 4 minutes and 23 seconds left in our ball game. Lawson very close, or actually made the recovery. Joe Lawson, number 82. He's new on this ball club, a transfer out of Santa Rosa Junior College. As you look at L. Roberson and his numbers, 9 of 18, 210, 3 touchdowns, 17 rushes, 144 yards and a touchdown. And Danny Morris has come in at tailback. He is a sophomore out of Tulsa Union. And they go straight up the middle with Travis Wilson.
Closing the book on L. Roberson, I thought he had a great night. He shows that he can run the option. He gets the ball to Sproles, and he found some receivers tonight. Dennis, James Terry played really well, and so I think offensively, Bill Snyder's got to feel real great about the effort of his offensive football team tonight.
Comes the option to the open side of the field, fakes the pitch, and he's going to get thrown down pretty hard at the 42 by Miza on the stop for Cal.
Darren Sproles, again, I think he's the best back in the country. 175 yards tonight, averaged 8 yards a carry. They'll get better on offense, too.
Mike had 51 yards in his very first carry of the night. Looked as though he was going to break it for a touchdown.
A lot of good small running backs that have played this college football game.
Here's the pitch right there to Morris, and he is trying to reverse his field. In a lot of trouble, going to lose about 3 yards in the play. Tremblay and Monte Parson combining on the stop.
Here's your guys under 5'8", 5'8" and under. Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman. Barry Sanders played with Thurman Thomas in the same backfield. I mean, they had both those guys at one time. Travis Henry, Amos Zaraway. I think we had the first game. Amos Zaraway played at West Virginia. Troy Davis, Iowa State.
Mike Garrett,
he was a good one. Great.
Well, this good high-hanging spiral, and K-State down it at about the 2-yard line.
Alert special teams play.
Now the preseason coaches top 10. led by the Oklahoma Sooners, then the Buckeyes, Miami, then Texas, K-State, Auburn, Michigan, Southern Cal, Georgia, and Virginia Tech.
When you look at that, you got Oklahoma, you got Texas, you got Kansas State out of the same league. That's pretty good football play out of the Big 12. And I like this team right here, Michigan. I like them to move up that top of the charts. I thought John Navarre last year was the most improved quarterback.
Yeah.
I saw all year when they played that bowl game against Florida. If he can carry that over, Michigan's going to have a great year.
Roberson back into the lineup at quarterback. Sets up deep in his own end zone. And Lofton has it complete. It's a 17 to MacArthur.
Ron, we've seen Aaron Roberson. I have him on my list, but some of the best quarterbacks you and I have seen. Eli Manning, I think he's got a great shot at the Heisman. Phillip Rivers, if I had one game to win and he needed a quarterback, I'd take him. J.P. Losman is the highest rated quarterback by the pros. Our guy from Miami, Ohio, Roethlisberger, is great, a great player. And the most improved, I think you're going to see a different John Navarre this year at Michigan. Not that he's been bad. He's been good, but I think he's going to be great.
Robertson started to throw, pulled it down, and he has gotten by a couple of people in the open field. Butler will finally make the stop.
Talk about the Mid-American. They've had Chad Pennington and then Byron Leftwich. Byron Leftwich didn't even practice for Jacksonville about a half a day and threw the touchdown pass and won the exhibition game the next night. And then you got Roethlisberger. And now, I mean, those are three great quarterbacks.
By the way, I mentioned Butler made the tackle. He has got 9 tackles in this ball game tonight. Outstanding performance by him. That ball is thrown too short. Roethlisberger, there are some people that think, and actually I hope it doesn't happen. I hope he plays this year and next. But there's some folks that think that if he has an outstanding year, that because he redshirted, that he might come out. And there are a lot of scouts who think that they might look at him as the #1 choice. And this is very premature.
Yeah, all he's got to do is look at what Byron Leftwich did. He stayed. Byron Leftwich was a great team guy for Marshall. Mid-American Conference always has good quarterbacks, but I think Roethlisberger will stay in.
Hope he does. Surprising thing about him at 6'5" and as large as he is, a very good athlete and has tremendous mobility besides throwing so well. That pass thrown complete to Tola. And it'll be about 2 yards in the play on 3rd down, so it'll be 4th down. Special teams are going to come on. We're at 119, 118 and counting. A couple of guys I want to pay tribute to tonight that were not necessarily stars of this ball game, but I thought Strang, the wide receiver for Cal, huge 3rd down catch to get them going and put life in their drive, and then he caught the touchdown pass at the end of that drive to tie up at 7. And also we have already talked a lot about Travis Wilson, but Travis had one heck of a ball game besides some really jarring blocks. Caught a touchdown pass. That ball's going to be touched down at the 49 and stops the clock with 42 seconds left.
Ron, with the college season, I know you agree with me on this. Best team, no one knows TCU. We saw them last year. They got a great defense. I put down surprise teams. A&M, I think they may lack a little talent, but I think Franchione will do a great job. UCLA, I was impressed with them last year. South Carolina has 8 home games. Coach on the spot, Eddie Grand. Who is Eddie Grand? He's the Auburn running back coach. They have 4 great tailbacks. So Eddie Grand's on the spot there. They have better tailbacks than some of the pro teams. Worst schedule, Troy State. 4 home games. That means there are going to be 8 homecoming opponents. Pipeline, easy to say. Miami, Florida. 13 first-round draft picks in 3 years. National champions, I like Michigan versus Oklahoma, Kansas State, or Texas.
All righty.
That's a mouthful.
And, of course, sure, a lot of protests from the folks in Columbus, Ohio. But there are a lot of people that feel as though Ohio State has to go to the big house.
Illegal motion
and that they can't
on the
beat
offense is declined.
Ohio State 3 years running.
Illegal
of course, that remains to be seen. But
on the offense is accepted. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
I'm from Ohio. I like Ohio State. I think they got a great team coming back, but I think that there's going to be some teams that have a bullseye on their back. And
well, how about this? Mac Brown's team ranked in everybody's top 10, but his schedule They get K-State at home one weekend and then go to Dallas to play Oklahoma the next. Two of the very best teams, or two clubs that could wind up in the national championship. So
Oklahoma with great defense, almost everybody's picked. And you can't rule out Virginia Tech because Big East, them and Miami, never rule them out. I don't rule Florida State out because you never tell about them.
The clock is running down to 7 and now down to 6, and K-State gets their first win of the year. The Cal Bears are going to lose this one by a final score of 42-28. Coming up next, it's SportsCenter. For more, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football on the internet. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Now, for Mike Godfrey and Adrian Carson and our entire crew, Ron Franklin saying good night from Kansas City, Missouri.